All right. What's good? What's good? What's good? What's good? What's good? Hope you guys are well. Hope you guys are well. All right. Cadillac's 634 in the dough. Hey, man, I dedicated my last video to you, brother. Hope you well, Cadillac 634 in the dough. BZ in the building. What's going on, man? Ron BK, what's happening? Black Fonz, what's good? Gilbert Jimenez, what's going on, man? Produce Me, aka Shanghai PJK. Salute to you and your channel. I want to know what's up with Jamal Charlo. I don't know, man. People out there trying to get him stripped. People out there trying to get him stripped. Should he be stripped from inactivity? Come on, man. You gonna strip the man after all these people ducked him? The man can't have an injury. Anyway, I don't know what's up with him, man. We'll see. We'll see. Maybe his wife was right. Maybe he won't fight anymore. I don't know. Inquiring minds want to know. Will Wright in the building. What's going on? Rise. Hey, I listened to as much of that as I could listen to. I listened to that. I listened. Okay. I listened. I haven't listened to the whole thing, but I listened. I didn't listen to the part where Bill came on, but I did listen. And it was very, very interesting. It was interesting. Very, very interesting. It was interesting. My man, it's the live up. It's not showing up on my phone. It's up, brother. It's up now. It's a little late. Eric Horn in the building. Cornelius Bennett in the building. What's going on, man? Adrian Molina in the building. As always, good to see you, brother. God dang it, I got to get a video for you. Cam Williams in the building. Yes, sir. Adrian Molina says, gentlemen love ladies. Yeah, hey, man. I can't lie. I do like women. I like one woman in particular, and it is her 50th birthday today. So, yeah, bro, that was Rise Podcast, man. Like, yeah, that was really interesting. That's interesting perspective. It's really interesting perspective. Like, yeah. Hey, what's going on, Eric Williams? How you feeling, brother? Thank you for the good vibes. Good morning, Fanad. What's going on, Buzz 703 in that super chat, bro? Like, look, man. Everybody does things for clicks and views. I'm going to tell you something very, very straightforward. And I'm going to Rise Podcast. I'm going to hit you with something that is very, very honest. Because it is very, very obvious. Everything that any YouTuber does on YouTube is at least in part for clicks and views. Nobody puts up a video without wanting somebody to see it. And the only way that you can see a video is if you click on it and view it. That is a basic honesty that some reason people on YouTube refuse to acknowledge. It is not an insult to tell somebody that is at McDonald's, oh, you're only flipping these burgers for money. Obviously, I'm at a job. I'm wearing a McDonald's uniform. You asked for a burger. I gave you my burger. Right? Every musician writes songs for people to hear. Without exception. Every doctor opens an office for people to come in so that he can and become their patients. Everyone does that. Every time they do it. There is not a single solitary YouTube channel amongst all of these YouTube channels that are not doing it for somebody to watch it. Every time somebody says to me, oh, you just did this for views. Yeah, dummy. Of course I did. I put a video up with my face on it with an introduction and lights and a mic. You think I didn't do that so somebody would watch? Of course. Sometimes we defend ourselves from things that we don't have to defend ourselves from. There's nothing wrong with that. It's the purpose of it. It's like you tweet only to get likes, only to people to see your tweet. Of course, you don't put tweets up. Why would you tweet? You go into the bathroom and talk in the mirror. You write it down on a piece of paper, then you'd stick it. If you didn't want anybody to see it, you'd stick it in there. You stick it in like I got right here. I have a shredder. As any type of paperwork that I don't want you to read, I do this. I take this paper and I go. Hold on. Hear the sound? That's what I do with anything that I write that I don't want you to read. I stick it in my shredder and I keep a handy shredder right here just so I don't get confused about versions or drafts. That's what you do. So that's why I say it's very interesting. Right off the bat. It's not an insult to do things for clicks and views. And I mean it. Hey, happy dirt. Yes, it's my wife's birthday. Yes, sir. So anyway, I just thought that I would share that with you. He said, facts, Fanon, I make Jeep Wranglers to get paid, period. That's it. That's it. So when people tell me, we said, it seems like yesterday they were saying you outright bullshitted to get people to watch. What are you talking about? I outright BS to get people to watch what? I don't care what people, first of all, anytime you say that somebody did something to be watched, of course they did. Every boxer fights to be seen. Oh, you're just fighting for a payday. Obviously. I'm just fighting for legacy. No, you're not. You're fighting for money. Otherwise, you wouldn't take the money. What do you mean? Of course you fight for money. You don't have to hide from buzzwords and people's implications. What people are inferring or you yeah. Come on, man. Or not inferring what people are alluding to. That's silly. It's silly. Be honest. Now, you telling me I'm being dishonest for views, then we can have a conversation about it. Then we can have a conversation if you think I'm being dishonest for views. No, I'm not. I write a title. What are titles for? To get your attention. That's the purpose of a title. It literally is the purpose of the title, is to get your attention. Oh, you only did your title to get attention. Yeah, dummy. Yeah, dummy. Look, man, I'm a grown man. I'm a grown man. I'm not going to lie to you. No need. I don't have to tell you everything that's on my mind, but I don't have to tell no stories to you, brother. I know boxing well enough. I'm entertaining enough. I'm well over the amount of subscribers and views that I ever thought I would get. You kidding me? All I got to do is continue to do what I'm doing, and I'm good. That's it. I'm good. So when I said, so I was speaking to you, Rise. I'm just saying, like, look, man, that's the fundamental thing about YouTube is, yes, people do everything for views. It's completely driven by views. That's the only reason to be on YouTube at all, is to get views. That's it. It's like telling somebody that makes a movie, you're only doing this movie so people will watch it. Yes, I am. So please tell me what's wrong with that. Your children. Like, I'm not interested in the children stuff. You would have talked to me and said you did that. Yes. If I do a video, I want people to watch. Trust me. There's no need for you to point out the obvious. And there's definitely no need for me to deny the obvious. Because this is fundamentally the truth. Okay? No doubt. It's fundamentally the truth. Okay? People do not go out and kill you. If you got a pocket full of, if you got a bunch of food in your refrigerator and you go out just for the heck of going to hurt some animal and put them on the wall, yeah, dude, something's up. But if you're going out there just to eat, what are you supposed to do? That your body's built, you need to eat, right? So what's going on, TJ Blackwell? Off topic, but did y'all hear the recordings on the phone with Errol? He ain't ducking. Yeah, I heard all of that. I did. I heard all of that. But let me tell you what they don't like, brother. They don't like the fact that I'm dead on. And I don't even want to talk about him today. I want to talk about whether or not Errol Spence Jr. is going to fight Keith Thurman. That's why I keep coming here on Bias, Truth, and Honesty Flows from your channel. Look, man, that is the silliest thing to me when people say that. No, I'm not. Yes, you are. And dude, admit it. What's the problem? What is the problem? What's the problem? Yes, I do it for clicks and views. Yes, I do. Of course I do. That's why you're here, because you clicked. You know what I'm saying? And you viewed. And then you drive a conversation, bro. And you drive the conversation. What I'm doing here is I'm driving the conversation. And then I will express my opinion. And I will tell you what I think of it. And you're free to think what you think. You know what I mean? We can see two things and come to a different conclusion. However, if you're talking to me and we are both doing what you guys call these amateur debates, you're going to lose. I'm just telling you flat out, you're going to lose because I keep my stuff tight, very, very tight. And I mean it. I keep it very, very tight. So, for example, all of this stuff about Terrence Crawford and people not having inside sources, and we're not guessing. You know why? Because it's out of Terrence Crawford's mouth. There is nothing that I've said that has not been based off something either coming out of Terrence Crawford's mouth or Errol Spence Jr.'s mouth themselves. So unless you're telling me that Terrence Crawford is not an inside source and Errol Spence is not an inside source and Steven Espinoza is not an inside source, then you have no ground to stand on whatsoever by saying that I'm uninformed. Be very careful. Be very, very careful. Because you cannot find anything that I've said that is not my opinion based on something that left the mouth of somebody that is an inside source. It's Steven Espinoza. It is Errol Spence Jr. himself or Terrence Crawford himself. And I don't have to leave any of that in order to give you my opinion, which would then come from all inside sources. So be very, very, very careful. Be very, very careful. Because I'm not loose-lipped. Believe it. I'm not out there. If you say you're doing something for clicks and views, I'm not going to lie to you and go around and be like, oh, no, I'm doing it for the people. Oh, this is because the people. No, I'm not doing this for the people. I'm doing this because I want to talk to boxing fans. And the only way that I can talk to boxing fans is if I put a video up and they click on it. Right there, if you're in a conversation with me, you're going to lose. The idea that Sean Porter is wrong about saying you should not go to a table by yourself is absolutely ignorant. Absolutely ignorant. Sean Porter is 100% correct. Just like you should never, if you have over $1 million, you should never file your taxes yourself. Never. Why do you do that? Because there are CPAs that know the rules and know how not to get you audited. They also know how to maximize your income by reducing your tax liability. If you're making $1 million a year and you're doing your taxes yourself, you're an idiot. Because you are either giving them extra money, setting yourself up for an audit, right? For example, and I don't make $1 million a year, far from it. However, I know next year, because I take my stuff to a CPA, I know that my wife's business, she has to earn income this year or we cannot have that deduction this year. And they told me that a year in advance. Let me tell you what Dave Chappelle said. Dave Chappelle said that when he was a kid, he was his own boss, right? He sat down at the table when he did his deal with Comedy Central, and he signed to do the Chappelle Show. He went to the table by himself. Do you know what he got out of that? He got these words: in perpetuity throughout the universe. In perpetuity throughout the universe. And Dave Chappelle said he did not understand those words. And he signed. If anybody was with him that was halfway honest, with expertise, would have said, let me tell you what that means. That means they own your name forever. Because that's what perpetuity means. Ever. Forever. Anywhere and everywhere. You can go to the moon a zillion years from now. I still own your name and likeness. I'm just saying these two words: in perpetuity throughout the universe. And you're telling me you're going to say that you shouldn't go there with somebody because you're the boss? No. Bosses bring people with them. They bring people with them. I guarantee you Elon Musk did not know to negotiate that daggone Twitter deal by himself. No way. So anyway, I just wanted to get that off my chest. Okay? But we can move on. Stone alone, because trust me, I got nothing but love and respect for all these dudes. Really, 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 really. I don't even have any disrespect or dislike for Bud. I just think Bud didn't want to fight. That's what I think. At the end of it, I don't think he wanted to fight. But that's my opinion. Based on things he said. Based on things that came out of his mouth. Not things that I'm hearing from somebody that I don't never met before, or somebody sending me DMs on Instagram or sending me DMs on Twitter. I mean, literally, I can go to Instagram. I can't go to Instagram because he blocked me. However, I can. My son can go to Instagram, pull it up, and I can listen to it. And when I listened to it, I knew what he was saying. And that's an inside source. So people are not we may not be completely informed. Now, sir, your wording, if you had said that people were not completely informed, not completely informed, not fully informed, you could have been living with that one. But when you say uninformed, that means that they don't know anything, or the least informed. Because there's no way for you to prove that somebody's the least informed. And I promise you, I'm not the least informed. You know why? Because my wife doesn't know anything about it at all. And there's a whole bunch of people on my that have not watched these videos, that have not listened to everything that he has said, that has not done videos and been fair about it, in my opinion, the entire time. Stone Alone said, good morning, Fanat in the chat. Happy birthright to the missus. Thank you. Second, say, bro, don't get caught up in these messy YouTube fans jumping from page to page, trying to get stuff started. Oh, no, never. Never. Trust me, this is directed more at somebody else. This is not directed at anything related to anybody on YouTube. This is directed at somebody else who I happen to like a lot. And I think is a really, really great person. And I'm a huge fan of. Seriously, to the bottom of my heart, really big fan of. But look, man, nah, you off left on this one. You're over there on that one, okay? I'm just being honest with you, brother. You over there on that one. With me, you're over there on that one. Because I don't know how much more careful I could be. No joke. Headed to your neck of the woods for a layover. I will shot you out at the airport by yelling up, what up, Martin? I hope I don't need bail for that. Nah, Hunter Young in the building, man. Much love in that super chat, brother. No, bro. I'm just going off on all of this, what people are doing for clicks and views stuff. As if you all ain't doing that. As if when you say something, You don't think somebody's going to listen to what you have to say. Come on, man. Be fair, brother. Be fair. Or don't be fair. It doesn't make a difference to me. And I mean that wholeheartedly. It really doesn't make a difference to me. Trust me. Doesn't make a difference to me at all. Because, dog, I don't do that. And I definitely didn't miss. Anyway, Bud Crawford, he's sticking his head on money. He's sticking his head in the money that boxing is making and not happy with 10, 15, 20 million. Bud, take that and shut up. I'm a Spence fan, but I see Bud wilding out on Spence. Look, man, I don't know what you can say. Look, let's do this for a second. Let me switch. Seriously, let me switch. But no, brother, I'm not doing that jumping forth with people trying to start stuff. I got nothing respect for every YouTube channel. I get on my videos, oh, you just do this for clicks and views. That's why that's the only thing I commented on. Is that notion. Brother, don't hide from that. Everybody does. Like, everybody does. It's like you drink water because you're thirsty. And somebody said, well, you're just drinking that water because you're thirsty. Well, I guess so. Something wrong with that? Something wrong with wanting to talk to a lot of people? Of course. You know what I'm saying? Of course. I did that so people could talk to me. What's the problem? There's nothing wrong with that. Anyway, is Terrence Crawford getting praised based on the eye test for his resume? Terrence Crawford's getting praised for his eye test with his boxing skills. And his resume, there's nothing wrong with his resume. Terrence Crawford, there's nothing wrong with Terrence Crawford's resume. There's not anything wrong with his resume. The man has a lot of accomplishments in his career, for sure. He really does. He's accomplished way more than most fighters have in by any objective measure. But here's the flaw in it. You got to fight Errol. Period. The idea that you don't have to, and your career is complete without doing that, that is your opinion. Much in the same way that your resume being Hall of Fame worthy is your opinion. Just like there is an International Boxing Hall of Fame guy that said in his opinion he is. That's his opinion. Now, as far as what some boxing fans' opinion is, they look at you and they say something completely different. They say, hey, don't worry about it, brother. Fahim, let's go to Twitter. Fahim, just go to my Twitter page. Yeah, I know you don't do Twitter, but just go to Twitter. Just go to Twitter. I'm not clout chasing somebody. Let me put it this way. If I told you what I was really talking about, I would have to clout chase somebody because it's somebody with a lot more clout than me. It would legitimately go down as clout chasing. Well, not because I didn't start it. But anyway, just understand, bro. I'm not saying what it is because it's just, I'll do a video about it, though. But, dude, we're boxing fans. Boxing fans. And boxing fans are going to have their opinion about what you do. And on top of it, Terrence Crawford literally invited everybody to the negotiation when he gave all the he gave every serious dude. We even know that Terrence Crawford was going to come out of the ring first. I mean, that Errol Spence Jr. agreed to come out first. How do we know this? Because Errol Spence said it. How do I know these words? How do I know these words? Errol, he says, peep this. He asked for approval over expenses. His company, TBC, have a chance to review and sign agreements. Said yes for the event. Reviewing and approving agreements before they are executed. Choice of which way to proceed is up to TBC. Said yes, next tweet. Do you know how we know this? Because that's what Errol Spence Jr. tweeted. That is on Errol Spence Jr.'s. Am I supposed to believe that Errol Spence Jr. is not an inside source? Am I supposed to believe that Errol Spence is not an inside source? I think he's an inside source. What would you think? Would he qualify as an inside source? Somebody that may be knowing what's going on with the negotiation? I think he might be. You think? You think? That's pretty informed, isn't it? What's the next one? He asked why I wasn't at the table or where to be found, for I knew what I had projected to get. I was happy with it, to be honest. The hedge fund deal was for your benefit. Who says this? That's Errol Spence saying that. That is an insider. I could go to Terrence Crawford too. And what Terrence Crawford said about the guarantees, and what Terrence Crawford said about what Al Heyman said to him, and what Terrence Crawford said. This is Terrence Crawford saying these things. This is Errol Spence saying these things. People are not uninformed. Okay? You are defending Bud should have limitations. And the limitation should be reality. Okay? This man said these things. You look stupid making things up. You dimwits are hop and skip away from the loony bin. See what I'm saying? Making things up. Thank you, Mr. Salazar. Making things up. Like what Bud said. This is why nobody believes Bud. This is why very few people believe Bud. I'm telling you very honestly. This is why very few people believe Bud. Now, the reason you know, or you should, the things that imply, do I believe Crawford's tweets? Yes, absolutely. I believe he said them. He said he wasn't getting a guarantee. He said, Al Heyman, this is not uninformed. I'm telling you what the man's saying. The only problem is what Bud is saying makes Bud look bad. Because Bud will say two things, and they both can't be true at the same time. If you say two things, and they cannot be true at the same time, one of the things you're saying is not true at the least. Possibly neither, but definitely not both. If I say I am right now in Arizona and I am in California, those things cannot be true. I cannot be in I cannot be both in Colorado and California at the same time. You cannot accept a deal and turn it down at the same time. You can't. Can you? Can you? No, you can't. So, dude, no, it's Bud. It's on Bud. Tell Bud to stop talking. No joke. Tell Bud to stop talking. And here's some pics. If your wife, and I'm not talking to any particular person because I don't want to offend anybody about their wives. Let me get these super chats first. Patrick Bell said, Fanon, here's a little support so you can talk. So you can talk me. What you can talk me? What do you mean? Here's a little support so you can talk more. Thank you, brother. Much love for the super chat. Thank you very much, brother. I appreciate you, brother. And here's some honesty. That's how I'm able to do the videos. People will shame you for that. Whoa, my God, you're just asking super chat. Dude, that's how you actually have the ability to do this. Is if supporters support. That's the only way it happens. It's no different in boxing than it is on YouTube. You need supporters to support you. If you do not have supporters to support you, you can't do it. You cannot do it. If you do not have people that are going to watch you box, right? Come and pay tickets to watch you, you cannot do it. You need to take other time. It just doesn't work like that, right? So anyway, let's bash the cliches, all right? Let's just throw the cliches out and talk like real people, real men. Hey, C. Dewberry said, good morning, Fanon in the chat. Do you think Bud has a defining fight? If so, who? A defining fight? You'd have to define the word. Has he had a fight that is like a big time fight? that is like fight of the year or not, or a legendary fight? No. He is not. Let me put it this way. What's going on, Rodriguez Jackson TV? What's going on, man? You can enter a negotiation, man, stop. Accepting then the fight, not look, dude, I'm not trying to hear you, CEO Picasso. You just be talking. Okay? I'm sorry, brother. You've lost the ability. You've lost me at me taking you seriously, brother. Okay. Good morning, Fanon. Do you think Bud has a defining fight? If so, who? No, I don't. Well, it depends on what we mean by it. Has he had fights that would define him as a champion? Yes. Yes. Has he had a fight that would show that he is an all-time great? No. He's never fought a guy that was at that level. He's never fought a guy that was at the top level when he fought. He does not have a win like Andre Ward has over Kovalev. No. He does not have a win like Roy Jones has over James Toney. No, he does not. He does not have a win like Jermell Charlo over Brian Castano. Because it was a fight where a lot of people thought he lost the first one and he came back and he won it by knockout. So does he have that type of fight? No. But you can make the argument that he's so good that nobody could touch him, right? Like the reason, because that's kind of what he alluded to in the conversation where I listened to him speak. Ricky Burns is not a Hall of Famer. I mean, whatever, man. If you think Ricky Burns, man, cool. You're probably trolling me. But if you think Ricky Burns, cool. If you think Yuriokas Gamboa, cool. If you think Sean Porter at that stage in his career, I mean, his best win is that Sean Porter fight, in my opinion. That's the best fight, is Sean Porter. The last one he had, for me. If I had to point to one, what's his absolute best win? It's Sean Porter. There you go. I think Sean Porter is a better win than anything he did at 140 or 135. But is he a great fighter? Yeah, I mean, by the look of it, yeah. In his eye, yeah. I mean, at the look, just the basic look at it, yeah, I would say yeah. I mean, in that, but you know what I mean? But is it Errol Spence? No. Let me put it this way. Does he have a fight that is on par with the fight he just passed up? No. Absolutely not. There's nothing close to an Errol Spence Jr. fight on there. And he's basically making the argument that I don't need it because I've already done that. You've not already beaten Errol Spence. No, you've not. You beat Julius Ndungo and Victor Postol. Do you think that a Victor, as good of a win is over Victor Postol? And actually, Victor Postol may be the best one for me now that I think about it. But Victor Postol, do you think Victor Postol and Julius Ndungo equate to an Errol Spence Jr. fight? No, man. You are not going to get any accountability out of Bud OnlyFans for not. I mean, it's boxing talk, bro. That's all it is. I'm a boxing fan. I'm a boxing fan. So I'm saying I'm not media. It's a boxing fan. Anyway, though, I want to know what's going to go on with Errol Spence Jr., man, because it looks like it looks like they're going to push. They're going to push not to get this Thurman fight for me, which would be a sad thing, man. I want to see this Keith Thurman fight, man. I think that Keith Thurman fight would be great on Errol Spence Jr.'s resume, as long as he wins. And I think it's something that Keith Thurman deserves. I really want to see that, man. I really want to see that fight. But I have a suspicion that it's not going to happen. I don't want to keep talking about Bud. I'll talk about Bud because y'all want to talk about Bud. But as you see, I didn't put Bud in the title today. 3 to get him said, listening to what he said to Kate Abdul, it sounds like he's getting pressure from blocking Errol from being able to go undisputed. It sounds crazy. It's look, dude, he's getting murked. Did I see Hatton Barrera? No, I didn't watch it. Look, he's getting slammed something nasty. He's getting slammed something nasty. And it's been consistent, and he's going to get slammed something nasty for a while. This is a career-defining movie made. And people are out there trying real hard to not make it career-defining for him. No, bro, sit down, man. It's on him. It's on him. It's on him. You want to talk, does he have a career-defining fight? No. Will this be career-defining? It very well may be. It very well may be. There's a reason you got to have a fight. If you don't get the fans that they want to see, the fight that they want to see, fans ain't obligated to move on. Fans give you what you have. Fans can take it away. Believe it. It's called getting canceled. They may not, there's a whole lot of people that did a whole lot of good in their lives, in their careers, and they made a bad move. And as a result of that bad move, boom. Right? Or as a result of somebody's perception of them, boom. You got to care. You got to be about it until you're not about it. No joke. Terrence Crawford. This is as close to getting canceled in boxing as you can get. Why? Because you're on the biggest stage and you treat boxing fans like what they want is not important. And you thumb them in their face. I don't care what the fans say. You can't listen to all these detractors. Brother, these detractors ain't talking to you. These detractors are talking to each other. And you can think that you can just it'll just go away. No, it won't. Whoever told you that the moves you made was going to go away, no, it's not. It's not going to go away. I don't know how to tell you. It's not going to go away. You get a DUI, them saying it's not going to go. No, it's on your record. Canelo Alvarez didn't fight Jamal Charlo, bro. It ain't going away. It has not gone away for him. Trust me. Canelo Alvarez knows full well. Whole lot of people think he's a duck. He just decides he's just going to keep thumbing his nose at it. You're going to keep thumbing your nose at it. But remember, fans do not have to support you, and they don't have to like you, and they don't have to agree with you, even though some do. Whole bunch of people don't. You don't owe them anything, and they don't owe you anything. They don't owe you the benefit of the doubt when they're doubting. Nah, brother, I'm doubting. Nah, he didn't want to fight Errol, so, how great is he? He didn't want to fight Errol. How great can he be? They were saying Errol's basic. He's basic. They're going to destroy him. And then he let money stand in the way and went to go fight David Avenation. Huh? Yeah, maybe, he must not have wanted that smoke after all. Right? You know what I'm saying? Hey, and my man, Upper Echelon said, here's some support. Hit the gong. Yes, sir, brother. Much love in that super chat, bro. Bud, keep playing. Bud playing keep away. His biggest accomplishment is denying Errol the feeling of undisputed. You see the hate. I mean, dude, look, let's take this for example. I never really even thought about it like that. Well, I did kind of. Like, I think a little bit there's that, because he said it so proudly. Errol don't know what that feels like. Errol don't know what it feels like to be undisputed. I know what it feels like. He don't know what it feels like. He got all animated about it. So can I read his mind? No. But you know what that sounds like? Nah, 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 nah. Nah, 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 nah. I did it at 140, and you need me to do it. Nah, 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 nah. I don't need you. Nah, 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 nah. Dude, tell me that ain't a nah, 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 nah. Dude, you were supposed to be a warrior and you're doing nah, 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 nahs out here? Really? Nah, 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 nah. Hey, bro, you think I'm making it up? Dude, I didn't tell Upper Echelon Sports Bar to think that. Nah, 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 nah. On Kate Abdo show. Nah, 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 nah. He don't know what it's like to hold all four belts up. He don't know what it's like. Obviously, he don't know what it's about. Obviously, he don't know what that's like. Obviously, he doesn't. So he's trying to fight you. But you're, nah, I don't need him. Ha, 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 ha. See, he. Come on, man. Come on, man. If you want to do anything, stop talking. Just stop talking and leave it in people's imagination. Okay, but when you get excited about the fact that Errol doesn't know what that is, makes it sound like you're being spiteful. Upper Echelon said, Bud ain't Canelo. Nello career has career fights, even though he's a duck. Plus, he got his money and his fans. Bud doesn't. No, Bud's got his money. Bud's got his money. He's got his money. I'm sure he's got his money. He's earned a lot of money. He's earned a lot. I'm sure he's earned a lot. See, he should have his money. How much money you need? God dog, you give me a couple $2 million paydays, and I mean after taxes, right? You get 6, you keep 2 to be very conservative. How much? What? Give somebody with common sense $2 million, dude. They're good. $2 million and some common sense goes a long way. You know what I'm saying? $2 million and some common sense goes a long way. You don't need $100 million. You don't need it. It'd be nice to have it, but you don't need it. You know what I'm saying? You don't be like, wow, what do I do if I only have 900 million? If I only have 90 million, what am I going to do? Geez, I only got 11 million in my bank account today. What am I going to do? Oh, no. Only reason you would have a problem if you got $11 million in your bank account is if you're spending 12. Okay? And if you're spending 12, you got a whole bunch of nonsense you don't need. Okay? No joke, bro. Please, Lord, give me that. Okay? Because then I don't need your super chats. Because I promise you, I'm going to buy a $100,000 house, $200,000 house, have enough income coming in to pay my taxes off and my insurance, and I'm good. Go exercise, do whatever you got to do. But anyway, Bud won't retire till Spence moves up. Did a video on it. Much love in that super chat, brother. C. Dewberry in the building says, any guesses on or news on who Bud fights January 7th? Honestly, man, I am really hoping that it is Amanda Stanionis. I am praying that it's Amanda Stanionis. I'm praying that it's Manny Stanionis, and we get the Errol Spence Keith Thurman fight. We need a big fight, man. We need a big fight, brother. We need a big fight. Amanda Stanionis isn't a big fight. It may be a good fight or a better fight than people expect because Stanionis is a good fighter. He's a good fighter, and he likes to fight on the inside. So similar to what Errol likes to do. You know what I mean? So it could be a good, but I don't know, man. I'm hoping it's Stanionis, though. I'm hoping it's Stanionis. Based off Stanionis' tweets, he could be fighting Boots. Yeah, because it says fight of the year. So his thing with fight of the year, it could be because he's saying this year, fight of the year. So next year, it's probably not going to be, you can't say it for next year because it's, you know what I mean? Yeah, I got it, dog. I did. I checked. I saw it. Dude, I see all these tweets, man. I'll be out there, brother. I'll be out there. I'm listening to what people are saying. I see it coming. But anyway, man, yeah, man. Oh, Stone Alone. No, I appreciate that, brother, though, what you said. If you're still there, Stone Alone. I understand what you're saying, brother. I understand what you're saying. I see cats going to other people's chats trying to start stuff with my name. You know what I mean? And honestly, when I listen to the Rise podcast, let me say this short. Hey, man, a whole bunch of that stuff was honestly good, honest answers and clarified stuff because he was right about a lot of stuff. Some things, grown men can see a little bit differently. You know what I mean? However, I just wanted to say this. Ain't nothing wrong with clicks and views. Don't let people shame you out of success. Ain't no need to deduct success. Yeah, I see you, Stone Alone. Ain't no need to duck it. Ain't nothing wrong with it. Everybody does it. It's what you're supposed to do. That's your job. That's what you are supposed to do. And the only people saying that to you are people who are unable to do it themselves and can't figure out a way to criticize you of otherwise, or people who do not understand that, dude, that's what you do. It's like people saying Gervonta Davis only fights for money. He's supposed to. He is supposed to. That's his job, is to fight for money. If Gervonta Davis said, look, man, I fight for money, what can you say? You're supposed to. If you're not fighting for money, brother, you may want to, it's a little bit dangerous, ain't it? For pride. You know what I'm saying? It's a little dangerous for pride, wouldn't you say? Because you're going to get in there for pride with somebody that's fighting for money. I will always give if everything equal, and you put a guy fighting for pride and a guy fighting for money, hey, bro, give me the guy fighting for the money. Give me the guy fighting for the money. Because the guy fighting for the money ain't got nowhere to go. You don't want to see no hungry lion. You see a fat one walking around. You see a fat one walking around with his. You ever see those animal shows? Animal shows are real for real life. When you see it, like when a gazelle sees a lion with his belly out, that gazelle don't even go anywhere. When they see a lion, a big male lion walking, but his belly is out, he's like, oh, he just ate. I'm chilling. He'll look at him, but won't even move. They'll just look at him. Be like, okay, yeah, he already good. They see one that looks all skin and bones. Hey, man, it's time to take flight. It's time to take flight. Because this thing right here is going to get anything. He's in trouble. That's why you rappers waving that gold in the face of people is the stupidest thing you can do. It's stupid. It is fundamentally stupid. If a man is hungry enough and you got a stake on your chest, dude, you got a stake on your chest. You walking around with a stake on your chest. Man, somebody's going to come get that. You need to take that off. Nah, man, I'm flexing. Nah, man, trust me, my people. Nah. Your people are hungry. Your people going to come get that. Before too long, brother, somebody's going to come get that. Believe it. Don't do it. That's what I think anyway. I won't do it. Wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. You could not pay me to do it. To walk around, you could not pay me to walk around around a boxing ring, a boxing match with gold stacked to here. You couldn't pay me enough. What are you doing to me? Oh, you trying to get me hurt, huh? Yeah, I'm trying to get you hurt. I'm trying to get, why? Because, bro, look at how many pounds of diamonds do you have on you? How many pounds of diamonds you got on you? Nah, bro. Relating that back to boxing, nah, bro. Give me the dude that's fighting for money. Any day. I don't like. That's the one thing I like about Floyd. He said, a stake on my chest and some on my waist. Come get it. Nah, bro. Nah, brother. No. Hey, do you have another channel discussing other sports? I've heard you touch on other sports before. Interested to hear your discussion on the Negro Leagues. You mean on them right there? Oh, here's my take on the Negro Leagues. That pretty much you can throw everybody out of the Hall of Fame before the year of 1940. They're all overrated. Just like right now, baseball is overrated. Because you don't have, and by why basketball is going to fall, and basketball is going to follow suit. Basketball is going to follow suit. This is what I will tell you. You all are nuts. Those basketball players, they're nuts. They're nuts. Like, no joke, bro. You guys are bananas. You agree to more stupidity than anybody else. You let these people put caps on how much you can earn. You stand there and let them squash your opinion on any and everything and act like they're not doing that systematically. Come on, man. Y'all want to get big, y'all walk away. Walk away. You put your money in the bank and walk away. Walk away and see what they do. That league will fall to pieces. Leave it. And you guys will be, if you guys had the courage of leave it, to get up and say, you know what? We are not playing today. Matter of fact, we're not playing this month. You let the rookies play. Let the rookies play. But any one of y'all with that money, man, y'all walk off that mug. They will get a case of act right before you can believe it. But you listen to the ones that are you're listening to the dudes that are making so much money, more money than you away from basketball. Brother, if you're not man, whatever, but that's okay. Anyway, that's what I think about other sports. And you talk basketball, boxing, hey, Terrence Crawford can walk away if Terrence Crawford don't like the money. Great situation for him. Great situation for him. I'm telling you, you second-tier players, walk away. Walk away. Walk away and condemn every single solitary one of the bigwigs that stay there. And talk about them like dogs. Guess who's not going to buy their tennis shoes? Because, dude, there ain't nothing worse than being called a TOM in the black community. Trust me. And once they start turning their back on you, the other people are going to turn their back on you, and that league is going to drop. That league is going to drop. No joke. Drop. Good luck. Anyway, he said, Fanon dumps on MLB, NBA, NFL, and MMA. Fanon don't like nothing. What are you talking about? Carl Ward James, see you later, brother. I've listened to you enough. Okay? It's nice to see you. I dump on everything. I don't like anything. Whatever, brother. It was nice knowing you, homie. Let's get these likes up, man. Only 228 likes, man. Hit the like, man. I ain't asked for likes, and that's usually how you get likes. But people don't understand that. Hey, man, will y'all hit the like or dislike button? I don't care. Hit either one of them. Just be here. It supports the channel, brother. If you don't like it, hit the thumbs down button, okay? Fanon, it's not about the money for Bud either, because if so, he would have tried to use BLK to get more money from PBC. He did the opposite for the fight he actually wanted, which is advancing it. Look, man, see, this is where I got to kind of hit the pause button on it. I don't know exactly why he did what he did. There's all kind of assumptions that I can make about why he did what he did. If I am going to be fair to him, I can't get into the why of it. I have to get into the did of it. What did he do? What did he do? Keep it simple. He turned the fight down. And he took another one against David of Avanation. He did it. Brand New said, explain why Thurman deserves it more than anyone. I didn't say that, Brand New. I didn't say that. Can you ask me to explain something that I said? See, Stone Alone? That's why I'm saying whole lot of stuff that was said, brother, I have 100% support about, because I understand that. You say something and you qualify it, and people don't understand what you said, what you qualified. And they run with what you qualified because they think you're playing word tricks. And some people may be playing word tricks, but it is what it is. That man did not say that. He said what he said. So in the case of brand New in the building, said, explain why Thurman deserves it more than anyone. I never said that he did. I said he deserves it. Jaron Ennis deserves it. Stanionis deserves it. The reason that I want to see it is because I think it'll make more money for Errol and Thurman, and it'll be a bigger fight because more fight fans know Keith Thurman than know Jaron Ennis or know Stanionis. And I'm a fan. I am a fan of Keith Thurman. I'm a fan of Errol Spence Jr. I'm a fan of Keith Thurman. I like both of those guys. Yeah, Stone Alone, don't get it twisted, brother. Don't get it twisted, brother. I know what you're saying, but trust me, I'm not in that. I will say what I think. You know what I mean? But I'm not in that. All kind of people do that to me. Nah. I won't. And I can have disagreements though. But it is what it is. It's just a disagreement, bro. He said, you are right, Fanon, but they're cowards and that money controls their every move. Yeah, man, but they're just not interested. They're not interested. Echelon Man said, Abyssinian who was beat by Peterson and Mean Machine. Yeah, it's just, nobody wants to see that fight, brother. I said that I was just saying explain. No, that's not what you said. That's not what you said, brand new. You said explain why Thurman deserves it more than anyone. When you write more than anyone, you are making it a comparison between Keith Thurman and other people. Like Jaron Ennis, Stanionis, Terrence Crawford, Jamal James. Jamal James, all of those guys. When you write it, why does he deserve it more than anyone? I can explain to you why I think he deserves it, but I can't tell you that why he deserves it more than anyone else. You got to understand, I read things, I take things literally, right? And that's the meaning, but you may not have intended that meaning, but that's that's what you communicated. And there's a difference. People cannot, you may write something. I can say, hey, man, you a full-fledged bitch. And I may think for some crazy reason that's a compliment. You may take it wildly different, So just try to be if you can be precise with what you say. Be precise with what you write, Bud wanted that fight, dude. And Bud wanted that fight, dude is delusional. Yeah, it's just, it is what it is, bro. Dale McClennison said the word avenation is kryptonite for Fanon's vocabulary. No, it's for my pronunciation, because I think you guys are all mispronouncing it. I don't know which one's correct. I'm wrong either way I go. If I say I used to say Advancian, because honestly, I just heard somebody say it one time. I had never read his name before. So when I actually read his name, Avenation, right? I got it as Avenation. But then people said, oh no, it's Advancian. Well, it says on the pronunciation website that it's Avenation. But no, it's not, dude. You got to understand, man. I respond to I read, and I shouldn't, hundreds and hundreds of comments every day. Brand new, I wasn't saying that you said that. I was just saying, explain, brand new, brother. Explain why he is more deserving than other people. I cannot explain that because I don't know that to be true. So my real answer is I cannot do that. I cannot explain to you why he's more deserving than Jaron Ennis, because there's really no concrete reason that he is. See what I mean? I don't know that he is more deserving than either one of those guys. It's just something that I want to see more. I would rather see the Keith Thurman Errol Spence Jr. fight right now than Errol Spence Jr. versus Stanionis. I would rather see Errol Spence Jr. Well, I can't say I would rather see. There's some spitefulness in me with this one. About the Jaron Ennis one, because I want Bud to fight Jaron Ennis, because it is my impression as a boxing fan, my opinion, completely subjective, that Terrence Crawford is trying to coast, and he will coast and not fight. I don't think Errol Spence is trying to coast. I think Bud is trying to coast. Because he's saying he's accomplished everything he needs to do in a career. If he doesn't need Errol Spence Jr. for his legacy, what do you think he thinks about Jaron Ennis, who doesn't hold a belt? And very well maybe is just as good, if not better. And I said maybe, not is. Maybe, possibly, not is, possibly as good or better than Errol, but with no belts. Do you think Terrence Crawford thinks he needs Jerron Ennis for his legacy? Of course not. Why? Because of what Terrence Crawford has said out of his mouth, sir. What he has said out of his mouth, sir. And I'm going to call you sir. I hope you're listening. Sorry for pointing at you. But I'm going to call you sir because you deserve it. No joke. You are the man. But Bud's mouth, when it leaves his mouth, it left his mouth, and it is fair game for everyone. Nobody is duty bound to accept and give what you're asking for, which is the benefit of the doubt, which, might I add, y'all did not give Errol Spence Jr. You didn't give him the benefit of the doubt. Because when Tim Bradley was out there stone cold calling that man a duck, nobody on that panel spoke up for Errol. And Terrence, and with way less information, Tim Bradley called Errol Spence Jr. all kind of coward on ESPN. Because duck, that's why people keep saying, oh, I think that means that you're afraid of him. Why do they think that means he's afraid of him? Because it's kind of part and parcel of calling somebody a coward. Isn't it? Somewhat close, not exact. Some people could mean coward. Yeah, he ducked. Why? Because he's a coward. Y'all didn't give Errol the benefit of the doubt, and Errol had not said anything but, I want the fight. But now that Terrence Crawford says, I don't need the fight, he actually walks away from the fight. People are supposed to give him the benefit of the doubt when they are listening to what this man said out of his own mouth. Come on, man. Come on. No, that's not what people do not have to do that. People do not have to do that. I wasn't. Oh, thank you, brother. I know you weren't saying that. Okay, I got that you weren't saying that. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you, brand new. Much love in that super chat, but I answered the question, I think. Kid 25 said, money talks. The Thurman fight will generate more than boots and standing owners. Yeah, it definitely will. I believe that it will. I can't say it definitely will. I have a suspicion that it will. But I'm telling you, for personal reasons. And I'm a big Boots fan, brother. I like Boots, man. You know I like Boots, man. I like Boots a lot. Hey, my man Dave Williams said, Fanon told me if you guys get these likes up, he will do gymnastics routine at the end of the show. Let's call his bluff and hit the like button. Yay, Fanon, hit that gong for our brother. Oh, yes, for sure. Because that's a huge super chat, brother. That's a huge one. Thank you, bro. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that, man. An upper echelon in the building, brother. Hey, see you later, TJ Blackwell. He said, because Tim Bradley ducked Errol and retired. Look, man, he was his mandatory, wasn't he? Slid out of there. I remember that. However, yeah, he basically said that the man didn't want to fight him. He's scared of him. He said all kind of stuff. And there's no, and that's cool. Even though Errol didn't say anything that he wanted to fight. And it was okay to light off on him. But you say that Bud ducked after he turns the fight down and says he never needed it. And Sean Porter actually gave him solid advice. That's solid advice. Like, that's solid advice. If you go to the table by yourself, man, that's just true. That is objectively true. If you negotiate all by yourself against experienced negotiators, brother, man, you realize if Errol Spence Jr., what he said was true, and again, this is what Errol Spence Jr. said. This is an inside source. What did he say? Because, dude, this is like literally just up here. Where did it go? He said, I can't find which word was this? Here you go. We gave you everything you asked for. 3 things that was already in the first contract. Listen to this, okay? This is an inside source. Errol Spence, who is not just an inside source, he is a principal party to the negotiation. Principal party to the negotiation. This is a first-person account. This is being informed. This is beyond an inside source, right? This is a first-person account that says, we gave you everything you asked for. We asked you, man, I wish you guys would use periods. God dang it, Errol. Use a period. You do, and we gave you everything you asked for, period. 3 things that was already in the first contract. Now, let me tell you something. If that is true, if you asked for a concession that you already had, then you give it up for something in exchange, but you already have it. Do you know what that means you did? That means you gave up something for nothing. Do you hear me? Do you listen to me? Listen to me. And I'm telling you, if you're a boxer, listen to me. If you are a manager, listen to me. There's no way that I'm not right on this. Listen. If what Errol said is true, you asked for 3 things that were already in the first contract. Assume that they asked him for something and he said, in exchange, I want these 3 things. Oh, really? You want me to do, yes. If you want me to do this, just call it X. If you want me to do X, then I need for you to do ABC. I say to you, let me get this right. You'll do X if I do ABC. Let me clarify. A is this, B is this, and C is this. Are you telling me again? Because I'm going to ask you again. You'll do X, which previously you didn't want to do. You'll do X if I do ABC. And then you say yes. Then you say, okay, let me think about it. And I tell you, let me think about it. Come back and can we talk in about a half hour? I just need to talk to my counsel real fast. Yeah, no worries. I'll call back 30 minutes, 30 minutes. Okay, thank you. Click, click. Are you with me? And then I go, hey, hold on, man. He wants ABC for X. And then your counsel says, hold on, man. Give it to him. Why? Because he already has it. Yeah, man, he already has it. See, it's right there. That's what that means. That's what that means. And that's what that means. He already has it. So absolutely tell him, hey, man, give me this. Say, I can do that, but I need a little more. Push him a little bit. And then I come back and say, hey, man, look, man, I talked to my team. My team said we could do it, but I just need a little bit more of X. Can I get X plus 1 in order for ABC? Yeah, man, you can have it. Dude, these guys think you're the biggest sucker on the planet. They think you're the biggest sucker on the man. This guy is a sucker. This guy is a sucker. Why does not he? If he would have had, if any competent person would have read this agreement, they would know that you already have it. And trust me, you already had it. And I wrote contracts for a living. I guarantee you that happens often. If what that man said is true, you asked for 3 things that were already in the first contract. That's the exact conversation going on Errol Spence Jr.'s side. This guy doesn't know what he's doing. Or he doesn't want the fight because he doesn't think we'll do it, but he already has it. Right? Oh, man, what's he doing? He already has it. He doesn't have counsel. That's the only way, because if you wouldn't ask for them if they were already there. You could ask for clarification to ensure, hey, what does this mean? What does this mean? Oh, let's talk about it. We can clear up the wording. Bro, you wild brother. And maybe that's what Mike Coppinger said, that they were just cleaning up the language of it. That might be what Mike Coppinger was referring to when he said that he was cleaning up the language. But anyway, man, seriously, don't ever tell fighters just to sit down by themselves, and because you're a boxer. That's what you are. You're a boxer. And that's not boxing. You're not a boxer, and that ain't boxing. Okay? It's your choice whether or not you want an implant put on your tooth or not. Right? It's your choice whether you want to wear braces or not. But you better go to a dentist to actually put them on you. Okay? Like, come on, man. Come on, man. Hey, because Tim Bradley ducked Errol and retired. Much love in that super chat. Sorry, brother. So, yeah, brother, I'm sorry. I just come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. Hey, Fahim Zor said, Fanon, judging by what Porter said, that's probably the word on the boxing streets about Bud. He don't know what he's doing. Look, bro, let me be very clear about this. I don't know, because this is a guy that asked me, and I'm going to respond to you on Twitter. Much love to everybody in the super chat, everybody in the Cash App. Thank you guys so much for your support, man. Fanon, I love that you know nonsense and get direct to the point. Brother, let me tell you something. Somebody just asked me on Twitter, what did Bud do wrong? Somebody asked me the question, what did Bud do wrong? So I can answer the question. I'll ask myself, Fanon, what did Bud do wrong? I don't know if he did anything wrong. He may have done everything perfectly. But if he did everything perfectly, he never wanted that fight. Zenith 360 said, what didn't he do wrong? No. Watch Zenith 360. No. It depends on what his goal was. I don't know. What was your intention? That goes to your intention. No, you only know what he did wrong if you know what his goal was. I don't know if he did anything wrong. I have no idea if anything that he did was wrong. He may have intended to do everything just like he did it. No, he accepted a multi-fight deal and he got paid a lot of money. He wasn't unhappy with that. He would have stayed with Top Rank. If they would have offered another one, he probably didn't do anything wrong. If I had to guess, I would probably say he didn't do anything wrong. He did exactly what he wanted to do. He used the Errol Spence Jr. negotiation to get another fight. He got another fight that paid a lot of money, and he didn't fight Errol like his intention was. Because if you look at what he did and you walk back off what he did and get to his intention and say, in what world is this man not an idiot? Well, okay, well, let me tell you, under what scenario where he did all of that he did he make the right decision? If he did everything right, what was his intention? His intention is what happened. His intention was that he didn't fight Errol Spence, that he went on and he fought somebody else for a lot of money, where he had total control over the event. What he wanted to do. You have to assume that people wanted to do what they accomplished. Right? If it's true that he offered for, why would he accept it? Because remember, he accepted it. Why did he accept it? This is just logic, man. Leverage, smeverage. I know you're talking about leverage. Leverage with who? Leverage with BLK Prime? because it didn't get him any leverage, any excess leverage with the PBC. The PBC offered him something he said he accepted. The proof is in what happens. If you don't fight somebody and then you say you don't need to fight them, if you say, I don't need this fight, I'm past this fight, then you wind up not taking the fight. What are you supposed to believe somebody thinks? What are you supposed to believe? Really? And don't say I'm being biased, because there's nothing biased about what I just said. That is pure stone cold logic. It is stone cold logic. Am I missing something? I don't think I am. And again, this is inside information. It's the very definition of it. It's something Errol Spence said. It's something Terrence Crawford said. I have not reached any conclusions based off what anybody has said other than Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence Jr. and Steven Espinoza, who is an inside source, because he said, I've seen the contract in black and white. And guess what he is? He is a trained attorney with a lot of experience in boxing who makes multiple pay-per-views every year. So not only does he have the actual document, he is an expert on it and a decision maker in the deal itself. So how am I uninformed? How am I uninformed? When the only person that I am quoting is Terrence Crawford, Errol Spence, and Steven Espinoza. How? See what I mean? I'm not out here to make stuff up. If you ask me something that's your business, I will caveat. Even there, I will qualify it. If you ask me something that ain't your business, brother, I won't tell you. I want to know how those are not inside sources. How? How is that uninformed? Really? Bro, the apology should come. You owe me an apology. Because I just proved it. 3 sources: Errol, Terrence, Steven Espinoza. And everything that I said is readily available on Twitter right now. Between Twitter and Instagram, it's all there. That's not uninformed. That is highly informed. Highly informed. Because people keep running their mouths. Much love in that super chat said, Errol, Tank, Boots, Plant, Benavidez, possibly Thurman, Stanionis. February is about to be fire. January is about to be fire. I certainly hope so, bro. Let me tell you, Javier Valencia said, nowadays, $2 million is not much. By the time you pay all your bills and buy your house, you have a little extra for a cushion. That depends on the house you're buying and where you're living. $2 million, if that's all you're going to get, you move to the middle of Mississippi. You move out to somewhere in the middle of Mississippi and you get yourself a house that costs you $50,000 to build. And then you go buy generic food and you get a small job that pays you enough money to pay your taxes. You go get yourself a $30,000, $40,000 a year job that you can afford to quit if you don't like it. And then you work 8 hours a day. That $30,000, $40,000 will pay your taxes on your house and it will pay for your food, and you will have that money sitting in the bank and put maybe a little bit in something else, brother, and you'll be good. There are people that live their entire lives and never earn $10 million, $2 million over the totality of their life. So, yeah, man, $2 million and you get a job? Come on. What you need? You got a job and $2 million in cash, which means you don't have and you don't hardly touch that. You just live off the principal. What is 10% of $2 million? And by the way, $2 million is after taxes. Because what I said was if Bud earns 6, he'll walk away with 2. 50% goes away in taxes. Another $1 million goes away with everything you got to pay. And then you keep $2 million. And you got $2 million cash. And if you can earn 5% if you can get 5% on that $2 million a year, right? That's $100,000 a year in income off your $2 million. And then you go get you a $50,000 job, which you should be able to get, right? Start a YouTube channel, brother. You can make $50,000 a year. Okay? Follow your passion, start a YouTube page in your house. And then boom, you can make some money. Trust me. Funniest part of the interview was Kate's face. He tried to hold her off. He knew his book. Hey, dude, seriously. The funniest thing in the interview to me was when Bud did this, because I'm telling you. That's why I said, yeah, thank you. 5%. 5% is 100G. That's $100,000. If you can make 5% off your money. If you can make 2.5, that's $50,000 a year. And $50,000 a year is $2,000. What is that? $3,000 a month? $4,000 a month? It's $4,000 a month. $4,000 a month can easily carry your, you don't even have a mortgage. You know what I'm saying? Because you bought it. But anyway, it is what it is. You can live off that. So no, Bud is not starving, brother. Bud should be a wealthy man. And God bless him for being that. Deborah Booker said, I'm not looking forward to the Plant Benavidez fight. Benavidez is going to knock him out. Plant is just a good fighter. Benavidez is one of the great. Why? That's why Canelo won't fight him. Yeah, I can't. That's going to be a good fight. Renee Box Young says, salute my guy Fanon. Fanon teaching game as usual. Look, man, I'm just telling you, brother. Boxing is boxing in the ring. Life is life outside of it. Okay? Life is life outside of it. And we all got our skills, bro. We all got our skills. And everybody has a team. And boxing fans have their own opinion. Which is why I'm so very, very adamant that I'm a boxing fan. And you can't miss with your own opinion. If your opinion is based on solid information. And the information is most definitely solid. Because it came from Terrence Crawford himself. Errol Spence Jr. himself. Steven Espinoza himself. Now, it's solid information. It does not mean that it is true. So how do you know to dismiss something? When a person says something that contradicts itself. When they contradict themselves, then you know that one thing or the other is not true. Right? When you contradict yourself. When it's verified, you can believe that it's true. Like when Errol verified what Terrence Crawford said. Terrence Crawford said things that were verified by Errol on Twitter. So unless Errol is lying and Terrence Crawford is lying, then it is safe to rely upon that information. Isn't it? Isn't it? It is. It is. It's not fair, brother. It's not fair. It wasn't fair. You're not being fair. And generally speaking, you're a very fair person and a good guy. that I respect a lot. That's not being fair. No way are you listening to everything. Or you're defending your guy and trying to get the smoke off of your guy. But here's the thing. I don't owe any allegiance whatsoever to your guy. I don't owe any allegiance to the other guy. I'm a boxing fan, and I have the right to call it like I see it. And as long as I'm being fair and accurate, nobody should have a problem with it. But sometimes, brother, you just fall on the wrong side of it. You just fall on the wrong side, brother. Sometimes your guy just falls on the wrong side. If you got a kid and your kid is saying something happened, you go to school and you talk to the teachers, you figure out, you see the tape, and you realize sometimes, man, my kid was wrong. My kid was wrong. Doesn't do you any good to go off on the principal, on the teacher, on the other kid. You sit your kid down, either you just leave it alone, or you talk to your son or daughter and say, hey, look, man, young lady, you're in the wrong. Or you just leave it alone and you continue to pay the bills. And be like, hey, I don't have anything to say. I don't have nothing to do with it. I don't know what to think of it, so I'm not saying nothing to you. I'm not saying nothing to none of y'all. No joke. And that's life. It's not boxing. It's life. From an older man. Much older man. Terrence is saying what Terrence is saying out of Terrence's mouth. And what Sean Porter did was give sound advice. Very sound advice. Because if he was trying to make the fight and he asked for 3 things that were already in the contract, that tells you, if that's true, that he is being advised by someone that does not know how to read a contract. Or he's asking for things just for the sake of asking for things, with no intention on accepting the contract eventually. It's one of those 2, maybe a third that I can't think of. But you understand that this is logic. And this is how the universe works. It's how the universe works. If you have a dog in the house and you leave him all there all day long, and you know for sure, because you got videotapes, video cameras all outside the house, that nothing has gone in that house but that dog, and there's some poo right there in the middle of that carpet. You don't have to see the dog do it to know. You can use logic. So when you ask for 3 things that were already in the contract, you either did not know they were there, or you're just asking for things without actually having read the contract. You either read it and didn't know they were there, or you didn't read it and you just asking for stuff. It's one of the 2. I guess the third could be, would you mind clarifying that? Because I think that's what you mean. But can you clarify that? That's the only other option. But that's not what he said. He said he asked for things that were already in there. Okay? Sorry, man. Y'all try to go with all of this. You guys think people playing games, man, and just trying to be haters. No. Sometimes your guy's just wrong. Sometimes your guy's just wrong. But this time, I'm telling you, I don't even know if he's wrong or not. He may have been right. But if he was right, then he was right. He got what he wanted. What he wanted was that Abyssinian fight. That's what he wanted. If he did everything that he wanted, he got that Abyssinian fight, and that's what he always wanted. Why? Because logic tells you that that's what he wanted, because that's what he got. Because after he said that he accepted to all their terms. He said it. This is a first-person account. Him, Terrence Crawford, said out of his mouth on Instagram, I accepted their terms. Then why didn't you fight? Man, these YouTube streets is not easy, brother. Remember the dash. Said, love your work for 9. It's a bit early on the West Coast as I'm a late riser, but your show is really good. Nicely done. Thank you, brother. Bernie said it second. Let me tell you something. Everybody named Mama out of that camp said he accepted those terms. Everybody named Mama said it. No, not ill-informed. Anyway, I just had to do that, man. I'm sorry. I had to do it. Because, you know, it is what it is, brother. It is what it is. Oh, look, nothing in the Cash App. Thank you, brothers. I appreciate y'all for the support, though. Just want to make sure I didn't miss it. God said, that's messed up. What's messed up? What's messed up? See, now here, Megan, this is what I'm going to say I don't know. Crawford didn't have faith in his abilities to sell the fight for pay-per-view and to win the fight because the truth with all facts, the argument at least sounds like a partnership to me. Look, I don't know whether he had faith in himself or not faith in himself. It may all boil down to na. It may boil down to na. Right? It very well may be that. It may be that. It may be, look, Errol don't know what it's like to be undisputed. It means it's the best thing in the world to be undisputed. I know because I did it. He didn't do it. And I'm not going to give him the chance to do it. He needs me to do that. Bro, he needs to beat you to do that. He needs to beat you to do that. He needs to beat you to do that. And you accepted a deal. That's what you told him. You told him, I'll take it. And then you didn't. And now you're na. You didn't hear the na. I heard the. Did anybody hear that? Him say in an excited tone, Errol don't know what, dude, he literally got out of his seat. He literally was sitting like this and he said, Errol don't know what that's like. Hey, I saw you, Kid the Great. My bad, brother. I saw you, but I didn't read it, and that's my bad, man. Kid the Great said, great show. Thank you, brother. Much love in that super chat, bro. So, hey, man. Y'all got to sit on, you just got to sit on that L from a boxing. From my point of view, you got to sit on that L. You na it. Yeah, I heard it loud and clear. The man said, dang it. Dude, seriously, hopped up. You need me. No, he needs that belt is what he needs. He needs, just like you needed Julius Ndungo. But the difference was Julius Ndungo fought you. What's the difference between Errol Spence not getting undisputed and Terrence Crawford getting it? One huge difference. Julius Ndungo took the fight. Julius Ndungo had a snowball's chance in HE double hockey sticks to win that fight. And he still fought it. You're the number one pound for pound guy in the world, a first ballot Hall of Famer, and you didn't. Got to judge your actions, man. If Julius Ndungo will fight you with almost no chance of winning, you'll fight Julius Ndungo with almost no chance of losing. But you won't fight Errol Spence Jr. Without the inside information, and here's another thing. If you erase all of the inside information, take it all away, what are you left with? That's what you're left with. If you want to discount everything that everybody said because we don't know, right? Get rid of everything we've just said. What are you left with? You're left with Terrence Crawford saying no. But you're okay with us supposing that it's Al Heyman's fault. I don't know that it's Al Heyman's fault. Do we? We've never heard Errol's, but you guys are willing to accept that it's Al Heyman's fault or it's some suit's fault that you've never heard speak, but not take the word of Errol and Terrence, who you have heard speak. For nine, PBC ain't playing fair. You have no idea what they're doing. What are we left with when we throw out all of the stuff that we have to assume, all of the information? Because, we're misinformed or we're uninformed. So since we're uninformed, let's take everything that we were informed of and throw it out the window. What are you left with? You're left with Terrence Crawford turning down an undisputed fight with no explanation for why he did it. Is that true? Be honest. Be honest. Any Bud fan, be honest. Is that the truth? If you throw away all of the information that there is out there and say, well, we don't know that it's true, and throw it out, what are we left with that we know is true? Errol is the WBC, WBA, and IBF champion, and Terrence Crawford is the WBO champion. Do we know that to be true? Excuse me, John Hunt. You're not going to get anywhere with that. I'm going to tell you what I do know to be true. Oh, I know what they said, but let's talk about what I know to be true then. I don't have a problem. I will tell you what I know to be true. Errol is the WBA, IBF, and the WBC, the IBF, and the WBA champion. And that Terrence Crawford is the WBO champion. I know that to be true. I can verify that on every website that for all of those organizations. I know that to be true. I know Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence Jr. were talking about making a fight. I know that to be true. For Undisputed, I know that Terrence Crawford turned it down. I know that's true. Right? I know those things to be true. So what are we left with? Terrence Crawford would not fight Errol Spence Jr. That's what we're left with. We also know that since Terrence Crawford has fought for Undisputed before, he thinks it's very important. Because he fought Julius Indungo for it. He says you can't be a champion unless you are the lineal champion, which you can't do, according to him, without having all the belts. But he turned it down. When it was Julius Indungo, it was important. When it was Errol Spence, it wasn't important. I know that to be true. Because Bud said it. So what I'm left with is that Bud turned the fight down. And it's Bud is the but-for cause of it not happening. It's on Bud. And if I'm a boxing fan and I want to say, God dog, why didn't the fight happen? Bud didn't want the fight. Well, how do you know he didn't want the fight? Because he didn't accept the fight. He was offered it and he said no. That's how I know he didn't want the fight. How do you know that he did want the fight? You don't know because he turned it down. What you can tell me is that he wanted the fight. He would have taken the fight if. No, bro. You guys are in very, very shabby shape with this, okay? You're in very, very shabby shape with this. And I'm not in the business of being in shabby shape with my arguments. That man turned down Errol Spence Jr. for that fight. And I am not misinformed about that. That is a fact. As is all of the information that was verified by both sides. Terrence's side and Errol Spence's side. Both verified things that tell you that Terrence Crawford is the reason that fight did not happen. Nobody is arguing that Terrence Crawford is not the reason that fight happened. The only argument is why, which in my book is, but I'm doing what? I'm doing what? I'm telling you this Bud is the reason that the fight didn't happen. It's the truth. It is a bona fide fact because Terrence Crawford told you that he's the reason that the fight didn't happen. Terrence said it. Bud said it. You say it. Everybody says it. That he's the reason the fight didn't happen. The reason is the guy that says no. I don't know what world y'all live in. But if you ask a girl to marry you and she says no, the reason isn't because you had bad breath or you didn't have a job. The reason you didn't get married is that she said no. Just like your mama says. Can I go to the store? No. But mama, I did my homework. Mama, why can't I? You let my sister go. You can't because I said so. Because I said so. That's the answer your mama gives you. Because I said so. That's the reason you can't go. Because I said so. The reason why Bud's not fighting Errol is because Bud said so. Hey, Sean Oliver said, love the channel. Thank you, brother, for that $10 holler, brother. That's big time. Thank you so much. So while we're debating all of this and having good fun with it, you guys would not be doing this, in my opinion, if Errol had said no. Now, if Errol said no, we would have had an entirely different conversation. Wouldn't we? What if Errol jumped out there and said, no, I don't want to fight you, Terrence? No. We'll be having, do you think Tim Bradley would be holding back? Now we're in the world, just to be clear for the slow-minded of people, not speaking to anybody specifically, but let's just assume for a second that Errol is the one that turned the fight down. Do you think that Tim Bradley would be like, oh, I don't know what happened. I'm not blaming either guy. You think he'd be doing that? Or would he go back to what he said on ESPN? I told you he was a duck. I told you he was ducking Terrence Crawford, that he didn't want no parts of Terrence Crawford. I told you. I told you 6 months ago, didn't I? You know why? He would have had the ability to do so because he did say so. Right? I don't know where you guys come from, brother. I don't know where you're coming from. I mean it. Where's personal responsibility for your decisions coming into this? Hey, Black Preacher Man sports fan Caleb says, salute for non-facts. Bud action speaks louder than his words. Now, Fanon, you might need to spell it out for the slow-minded. I will explain it again very succinctly. If you listen to what the inside sources that have said and where you can verify it, then you know for certain that they are the inside sources. Bud is the reason that the fight didn't happen. If you ignore all information related to it, other than the fact that you know they would have been fighting for the undisputed title, and that they were offered a fight, and Terrence turned it down, then guess what? Terrence is the reason the fight didn't happen. So based off all the information you have, he's the reason that the fight didn't happen. You throw out all the information away, and you look at all the information that the bare knuckles information that everybody can agree on, he's the reason that the fight didn't happen. The only conversation is whether or not you're going to give him an excuse. It all boils down to whether or not you're going to accept his excuse. Right? Right? Just like you lose a fight. Well, I really want it. I'm going to go to my grave thinking I want it. Yeah, dog, but you lost. But I got reasons why. Yeah, you got reasons why, but you know what it is, though. Hey, Sweet Pea, I think you won the fight too, Sweet Pea, but what can I say? Oscar De La Hoya walked on with the belt. What can I say? Bradley called Spence a duck while he was unifying. Exactly. He sure did. Much love in that super chat. He sure did. But like I said, brother, great Bud is a great boxer, but he's still a duck in this case. It's what it is. But if you do not want to be, how do you say this word? Polarizing. If I don't want to be polarizing, let me say this in a way that is not polarizing. I really think what you mean is sensational. Because, brother, it's polarizing any way it goes. But if I do not want to be sensational, therefore exasperating the polarization of the issue, I would say this. Bud's the reason that the fight didn't happen. And I personally don't believe that he wanted that fight. And he ain't going to tell you that he doesn't want it. He's not going to tell his mama he don't want it. He's not going to tell, except for he did tell everybody that he didn't want it. What am I thinking? Sorry, here's the other side of my brain slapping me. Fanon or Martin, my name is Martin. Martin, come on, man. Don't be unfair to Errol by trying to walk the middle line. Bud did say he was past it. Bud did say he never sees the fight happening. What do you mean? See how my mind works? Because I'm not really very sane, as is on public record. So my mind will shift on me and point to me. Hold on, man. What you're saying is a bunch of malarkey because Bud did say he doesn't want the fight. Bud said he was past it. He doesn't need it. He's already been undisputed. With all of these things being said and the fact that he walked away, Martin, how could you reasonably conclude that there is 50-50 responsibility between the parties and that it is somebody that you've never heard say a word that is the reason? But despite all of this, I'm supposed to blame Al Heyman. There's no proof that I have whatsoever, other than pure rumor and speculation, that Al Heyman had anything to do with this fight not happening. None. Because I've never heard him speak. Get the money right is an excuse. He didn't like the money, that's an excuse. He wanted it up front. He didn't want it on the back end. That's an excuse. You are justifying something that he did, not claiming that he didn't do it. You're just justifying. You are only justifying the fact that he did it. Oh, this man caused somebody to lose their life. Oh, well, was it self-defense? Or was it premeditated and uncalled for? You're just trying to justify it. That conversation is justification. And we can have an argument. We can talk all day about justification because it's just going to be beyond a reasonable doubt. But brother, we are not in a criminal court. We are in civil. This is civil, which is a preponderance of the evidence. Completely different standard because Bud is not getting sentenced to jail. He's not getting sentenced to prison. So we do not have to do anything beyond a reasonable doubt. Even though I think this is beyond a reasonable doubt. It's definitely the preponderance of the evidence by far. Easily point to why, because Bud is the one that said no. And Bud is the one that said he didn't need it. Both before and after. Never changed it. He is the one that is on a Brian Custer interview. And he asked, when do you think the Errol Spence Jr. fight's going to happen? And he said, honestly, I don't think it will ever happen. He's the one on Akin Barak that was asked, when do you think the fight will happen? And he said, I don't think it will ever happen. I'm past that. He is the one that was interviewed. And when he said, when do you think this fight's going to happen? He said, oh, it's going to happen. It's going to happen down the road. What? I mean, soon. I did a video about it. He said down the road, in the middle of a negotiation with BLK Prime. That fight didn't get made overnight. Anyway, I'm just going to stop putting a knife, just doing you dirty on this. All of y'all dirty on this. Keep my names. Please leave me alone. And I will say this consistently. Please leave me alone. Because trust me, this is a very, 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 very difficult thing to get out of. Very difficult. It's very difficult not to put it on. The hardest argument to make is the one that is Bud's. The only thing that you could do is be honest, which is I don't need to fight. I don't want to fight Errol. I want to make more. I'm not going to fight Errol for that. I just don't care about fighting Errol. That's important to you. It's not important to me. I'm going to take control of my career. I'm going to fight on BLK Prime where I can fight who I want and I can make the money that I want, guaranteed money. And I don't like that Errol Spence fight. Undisputed is not important to me. What you all boxing fans think is not important to me. And then you're either going to have to take what he says and accept it as true and respect him for his honesty, right? Or you can think it's a duck and you can say whatever you want. But to act like this man did not say what this man said, this man has not done what that man did, and try to put it on somebody you've never heard speak in your life. It is a very weak argument. Very weak argument. And people make very, very weak arguments when they're forced to do so. There was an argument that was put out there. Hey, Sturdy Mind said the difference is one person is their own boss and the other person has an advisor who is concerned with their pockets. Also, instead of making the fight, excuse me, that's not a difference at all. The person who is their own boss is Errol Spence. And the other person who has an advisor is Terrence Crawford. Terrence Crawford has a manager. Errol Spence has a manager. Don't they? They have a manager. That is the guy you're calling his advisor is his manager, whose job is to advise you. Terrence Crawford has an advisor called Bomac, named Bomac, who says very publicly, if you can get $10 million for a mediocre fight, why not take it? We would rather have guarantees than have money up front, than rely on the back end. Those are his advisors. So you literally can take the sentence you wrote and flip it. The difference is one person is their own boss. Both people are their own boss because neither one of them have a promoter. Do they? The other person has an advisor. They both have advisors. Who is concerned with their pockets. Errol Spence Jr. is concerned with his pockets. That's why he said, I'm going to get the most of the back end. I'm getting 35%. That is being concerned with your pockets. Also, instead, but you can't say also instead. Those two words just mean you're talking out of the side of my head. You literally cannot say also instead. He's concerned with their pockets also instead. That's like yes and no at the same time. Also instead. It's like you don't even know what you're saying when you say also instead of making the fight. You mean instead of making their fights. who's concerned about their pockets instead of making the fight. And I do believe that's Terrence Crawford. He is concerned about his money and not making the fight. That's very obvious since he did not accept the fight. Very obvious. But I appreciate that support, bro. Hey, WH in the building said, much love in that Cash App, bro. My man, Ben Frank, 100, much love, bro. Thank you, Ben Frank. Thank you, brother. That is a huge support, brother. Thank you. We can study the things that you say. There's a really great historian who named John Henry Clark. One of his favorite phrases is, I can tell what you have not read by what you say. I can tell you what you don't understand by what you say. The difference is one person. There is no difference when it's both people. There's no difference when that's true of both people. One is their own boss. Why is Terrence Crawford his own boss? Because he's his own promoter, right? Well, Errol is his own promoter. So they must be their own boss. The other person has an advisor. They both have an advisor. Bomac advises Terrence. Al Heyman advises Errol. Both of them. Who is concerned with their pockets? Both are concerned with their pockets, which is why Errol said, I'm not taking $25 million from nobody I don't know. Especially when I think I'm going to make more than $25 million for this fight. And where's the back end? Is that not somebody concerned with their pockets? Seems to me that that's Errol Spence Jr. being concerned with his pockets. Terrence Crawford says, I want upfront money. That is concerned with the timing of the money. The timing of the money. He might actually be willing to give up money out of his pocket so that he can get it timed. PBC is his advisor. Okay, well, BLK Prime is Bud. PBC and BLK Prime. But Terrence has BLK Prime. Errol has PBC. It's literally the same situation any way you slice it. Any way you slice it, it's the same situation. Herbert Johnson in the building said, John Boy, Lone Star Steph, Mike K, Zenith 360. Salute, good brothers. Got to get back to work. People are acting like they happy the fight's not happening. Crazy. Man, they are in defense mode. Oh, this bath. They're in defense mode for this bath Terrence Crawford's taken for the decision he made. They are in survival mode. They are in survival mode trying to cover for Bud. Because Bud is the one that said, no, I don't want this big fight, and left everybody hanging. Anyway, John Boy said, Herbert, can you imagine if the fight happened and Crawford lost? Jesus, the excuse they have right now is over the top. No. Let me tell you what happened. Let me tell you what I think will happen, because I want to make sure that I don't say anything by which I am uninformed. I will give you my opinion, not related to being a boxing person that knows the ring inside and out. I will tell you what would happen if Terrence Crawford won the fight. If Errol won the fight. Terrence Crawford would be garbage. Easy. They would take, other than Terrence Crawford fans, who would probably, the real ones, would sit on that L. More than likely. Like a lot of Terrence Crawford fans are sitting on this L with him ducking that fight. Don't get it wrong. The majority of Terrence Crawford fans that I talk know what the deal is. The people that are trying to act like that's not the case are the people that got a problem with the PBC. So, since we're talking about the people who are not Bud Crawford fans, but are people that have problems with the PBC, this is what they'll do. They will take Terrence Crawford and ball him up and throw him underneath the bus and say he never fought anybody anyway. They will take the same argument about his resume that people are making that they have an issue with. They will then take that, and then they will say Bud is nobody. Bud is trash. No, he's not justifying anything. Stanson, since he said Fanon, and I will answer this question. Fanon, could you believe that Ward is justifying Bud's actions? He's not justifying his actions. I have not heard him justify the action. I have heard him defend Bud against things that he believes are untrue or unjust. I have never heard him say that, I defend Bud for doing anything in particular. What I have heard him say is, you're wrong or you missed it. I don't even know what he meant by you missed it. But I have to assume that you missed it means you missed your spark. You missed your mark on it, which means you're wrong. Y'all missed it. You're just wrong about it. That's fair. He just thinks I'm wrong or thinks other people are wrong. Well, since he said it to me, he's wrong. He just thinks I'm wrong. And that's fair. But if you think I'm uninformed, you missed it. If you think I'm uninformed, if I'm wrong, there's a chance that I'm wrong. If you think I'm misinformed, though, you're misinformed, not me, because I'm not. In order to accept that somebody has an inside source, right? In the case of, for example, in the case of Sean Porter, he said, he ended his conversation with Sean Porter, where Sean Porter says, Sean, you must have an inside source. Okay. And he respected that. So if you can respect that, respect that Terrence Crawford is an inside source. Errol Spence Jr. is an inside source. And so is Steven Espinoza. They're all inside sources. And that everything that I have said has been based off what they have said. So if you can respect Sean Porter for having an inside source, then you got to respect everybody else that has one. That's just being consistent. However, what he did not do is he did not ever posit his own theory about what happened. He never did that. He's saying we do not know. I guess that's what I get from it, that we do not know, that people are uninformed, that people do not, that they're drawing and making polarizing statements based off of them not being informed. And actually, and I do believe that he said that the degree to you being uninformed is directly related to how polarizing your opinion is, which to me says the polarizing really just means that you're on one side, which means that you have a definitive standpoint. You're not at the equator. You are not at the equator. You used to be at the equator because you were like, should I go north or south? Nope, I'm going north. Boop. And then you go to the north and you say, hey, I'm on the North Pole. That's a pole, right? So you're pulling people to different poles. The most polarizing statements are the ones that create the most definitive opinion, which is true. My opinion is polarizing because I am not on the equator. I'm on the North Pole. But why am I on the North Pole? Because I saw what was happening on the South Pole. Okay? Whatever made people wonder which pole they were going to. And I ain't going to be on the equator no more. Because guess what? That's not where it is. And that is being fair to people. Once you know and you have made your mind up, and that is based on publicly available and easily recognizable, your opinion doesn't mean much, my friends, then why are you here? It doesn't. So what are you talking to me for? That is the first, for an idiot, that is literally the first lucid thing that you have said. That's the smartest thing you ever said. I hope, did you hurt yourself saying that? Lord Scotty, snotty body. That is literally the first. My opinion doesn't make any difference. Exactly. It doesn't, because Bud already did what he's going to do. I agree 100%. With your na moment. Your opinion doesn't matter. Right. Yay for the dumb kid. Yay for the dumb kid. But John Boy, people over here like you going like you hate Bud. No, most of us in the super chat clearly buy Bud fights. We just don't buy his excuses. Some of y'all hate the PBC and y'all claim Spence ducked Manny also, so shake my head. Yeah, it's silly. Now you're going off based off what somebody said. Scotty, you're a dummy. Now you're going based off what someone said. Oh, what? You're not supposed to go off what people say? How do you live your life, idiot? See, just when you say something that made sense, I run into something that you say that is purely idiotic. Now you're going off what somebody said. Yeah, I'm going off what Bud said. Yes. Yes, I'm going off what Errol Spence Jr. said. Yes, I'm going off what Steven Espinoza said. Absolutely, positively. I don't know what else I'm supposed to go off of. You dummy. Hey, man, anyway, man, y'all are a clown. I mean, not a clown, but you know, you're not a clown, but you're funny. Hey, John Boy, exactly. Shake my head. This is wild, bro. This is cooked food, bro. Hey, Lord Scotty, I'm throwing you out because you called me my friend. I'm not your friend, bro. Your opinion doesn't mean much, my friend. First of all, you call me your friend. So once you lie on me, partner, you're out forever, Scotty Snotty. All right? You call me your friend and you're not. I'm not your friend. You're not friendly with me. I'm not friendly with you. I read what you have to say and I ridicule you almost every time. If you think that makes me your friend, something is wrong with you. Okay? And no reason, no doubt, there should be no doubt now why you fall for dumb things. If you think I'm your friend, I am very much not your friend. I do not like you at all based off of the things that you have said to me. I don't respect you and I don't like you. See the honesty? I'm not going to fake like it. I like you. I don't. You just say dumb things consistently. I don't like dumb things being said to me consistently. I am a very logical person. I have to be logical. Have to be. That's the only way you get through life. For me, anyway. Because ain't nobody offering me $10 million to fight David Abyssinian and say a bunch of silly stuff. Anyway, John Boy said, hey, Bud is saying everything that gives his critics the ammo to use against him. When you can translate something simply into something out of his mouth is amazing. Hope you don't use that you don't use that in real life. Man, you know it. They don't. There's no way that they would do this with Errol, bro. I'm just being honest. That's how I respond. I respond to brutal logic and honesty. That's how you do it. What is the easiest way to knock somebody out in the boxing ring? Hit them very hard in the chin. Would you like me to get into footwork? And no. Cold cock somebody is hard. Find a way to hit them as hard as you can right in the chin. As often as you can. Dude, if I'm fighting, God, I like Andre Ward too, by the way. I like Andre Ward. Okay? I know y'all saw his tweets and all of that stuff, so whatever. I like the dude a lot. I'm a big Andre Ward fan. I never go out of my way to criticize him because I like him. And honestly, doesn't do very many things worth criticism. He's a bright guy. And like I said, he does what he said, I can respect what he said, even though I can disagree with it. Very, very strongly disagree with it. Hey, man, you got to leave blue blood out of my conversations, brother. Seriously. Yeah, you just knock somebody out. So the easiest way for me to get you, anybody in here, is just to tell the truth. It's going to be like you say, oh, you just did it for clicks and views. Yeah, I do, and so does everybody else. Now what? It's a very, very easy thing to do. Yes, I do. I have a YouTube channel, and I get up here every morning, and I hope people come watch me. The only way that they can watch me is if they click and they view. What? Would you like to tell me that I drink water in the morning and I use the bathroom sometime today? I mean, I don't have to be in your house to tell you, hey, man, you're going to use that toilet sometime today. Right? You're going to have to. Nah, I'm never going to use. Okay, I bet you do. Dude, you're not going to embarrass. You can't embarrass people for telling you the truth, brother. You know what I'm saying? Chris Brooks said, 9 a.m. sharp. I'm in the building. Thank you for clicking. And actually, I hope you hit the like. It's silly, man. Y'all are silly when you deny things that are true. It's not you. There's no reason not to. There's no reason to deny the truth. Man, Fanon said he does videos so people will watch him. Oh, no, I don't. Who sounds dumber? No, I don't. I literally can't even get that out of my mouth. I literally cannot get that out of my mouth. John Boy says, 0 credibility. Liar, Scotty. Your food, idiot. They have fun with you. You're dumb, A. Just know that if this David a fight doesn't happen, Bo won't have any jockstrap juice for your scratch and sniff post. You know what I'm saying? So look, bro. Look, man. What? I'm telling you, what? What do you think you guys are doing? How old are you? Like, no, for real. Stick with the logic of it, brother. Stick with the logic of it. Nobody can hurt you. Yes. What? People used to be like, oh, your titles, you just put your title like that so people will watch. Dude, that's the reason to have a title. That's the reason you have a title. If I didn't want anybody to watch, why would I put it up? But yet you guys are going to sit here and act like that ain't why you do it. Oh, I fight for legacy. Then fight for free. If you fighting for legacy, fight for free. Nope, you fight for money. You fight for money. Pause on the rest of that nonsense. If your legacy happens as a result, cool. Your legacy is what you call a fringe benefit. And it's the truth. So why act like it's not? If you want to fight the best fighters because you don't want to tune up, well, why don't you want to tune up? I don't want to tune up because tune-ups don't pay like big fights. The problem is when you start getting offered tune-ups where you get paid more than big fights. And that's the fundamental problem with boxing. You're getting paid more money for 2 tune-ups than you will a big fight. So I'm going to take 2 tune-ups against guys I know I can win. And since it's money that you care about, you know that's why you did it more than likely. Why would you take David Avicinian, Avination, Avocado, Advil, Amnesia, Anorexia? Why would you take him? Because you can beat him and you can come right back to a fight with Errol. And if Errol doesn't, if they don't like the deal again, well, I won't take the Errol fight again. I'll go fight somebody else. Because I can make 5 and 6 paydays talking about Errol Spence, just like Manny Pacquiao had 5 or 6 pay-per-views talking about Floyd. Tell the truth. And that has nothing to do with what's inside the ring. That is common sense. That is common sense. And not only is it common sense, it's what Bud said. Why wouldn't if I can get this big lump sum? He's talking about the money. He said over there, it's the money. You guys say it's the money. Well, if it's the money, he ducked for the money. Doesn't make a difference. He still ducked. Right? Like, man, y'all got to hit the brakes, bro. And I mean that, dog. Y'all got to hit that brake. You got to hit them brakes hard. And y'all know it. And y'all make me roast this dude daily. I don't want to do this. I didn't want to talk about this. G on the YouTube, you got to do what I said to do to get unblocked. I literally put this in last time. Here's my email. hplascovt@gmail.com. In order to get unblocked, G on the tube, you have to email me a link to your YouTube channel. The way that you get the link to the YouTube channel is that you look, since you're on YouTube, you look in the upper right-hand corner and you click on your icon that is right next to the bell, to the right of the bell, and two things to the right of the little camera in the upper right-hand corner. When you click that, you go to the first option that is available to click on, which says your channel. Once you hit your channel, then you can get the hyperlink out of the address bar at the top of your screen, link that, and send it to that email. Once you send it to that email, I will click on it, and I will unblock you, and I will return an email to tell you that you are now unblocked. That is that is the process to get unblocked. And I've said that multiple times, brother. So please make sure you understand that. No worries. And I cannot email you. Okay. So it doesn't work if you just send me your email address. Here, you got to send me the link. John Bowie in the building said, forgot Brooke, Howard, double zeros, all the Jeffs, and everyone got to go. Peace. Yes, sir, brother. Go on ahead with your day, brother. You have a great day, brother. I'll say they had a brake fluid for 9. They got to slam into the wall. Bro, you guys are so cooked. You're so cooked. But for real, and I'm going to repeat this, Sean Porter gave very, very good advice. There's no reason other than him being polite for him to walk off that at all. And it is what it is. But anyway, I guess I should back off that because I maybe have to read that Sean Porter tweet again so I make sure that I understood exactly what he said. That is me going off the general tenor of his message. Anyway, but you get my point. No, I'm not uninformed. And polarizing, yes, because I made up my mind. That's what it is. I'm not halfway on this because I don't believe Bud. I don't believe that Bud wanted that fight based off what he said and what Errol said and Steven Espinoza said. And I cannot talk about what Al Heyman said because I've never heard his voice. Charles Clark in the building said, salute John Boy, the voice of reason, and Zenith 360 cooking in the comments. Salute OG Fanon for dissecting it into dissecting info into tiny pieces so most can digest. Hey, man, my pleasure, brother. Sean Clark, thank you, brother, for that support, bro. Thank you for the support. Yeah, it's tough, man. I got you, brother. I got you, Sean Clark. Thank you, bro. Thank you. I just back and went and got you, man. But anyway, man, legacy, I don't know what to do with that legacy stuff. I'm gonna be stone cold honest with you. I don't know about that legacy stuff. It doesn't resonate with me. It doesn't make any sense to me. You know, it just doesn't make sense to me. The legacy conversation. It just doesn't make sense to me. It may make sense to people that say it, but it doesn't make sense to me. Because the way that I view it is, you make the best decisions you can do every day, and you get through your life every day being the best human being you can be, accomplishing your goals to the extent that you have them and that you can work towards them. And then you have successes and successes and successes, right? You have some setbacks, but then you have successes. You know what I mean? And that's just how you live your life. And at the end of the day, when people think about your life is what people think about your life, right? And what you do every day is what your legacy is. But your legacy is what other people have. It's not what you have. It's what other people have. Remaining from you when you're done. Like if I make a bunch of money and then I leave that money when I pass to my child, my legacy, part of my legacy is the money that I left. But the actual legacy is something he has, not something I have. You know what I mean? If you make a positive impact on people at church because of the example that you provide in your daily living, that's not something you have. That's something they get from you. So when you talk about your legacy in boxing, it's hard for me to understand that as a boxing fan because I don't get anything that you leave behind. The only thing that I get is what you do today. I don't get that. I mean, I can still go back and watch your fights later, right? Like Ali, I can go watch his fights. I can also remember what he made me feel like when I watched his fights live and the appreciation that I had for him anytime he was about to have a fight or when he talked on TV. That's what I have from him. He doesn't have that anymore. All he could do is make the best decisions that he could make on a daily basis. And then we are left with what he no longer has. Your legacy is a reflection that you never get to see. So I don't get it. I think it's a cop-out. It sounds like a cop-out. It sounds like a reason that you have for not doing something. Oh, well, that's not important to my legacy. You don't have your legacy. Your legacy is what you leave behind. Key 215 said, Fanon, can we talk Tank and Haney? Yeah, sure. If you got something. I don't have a problem. I think Tank will want to fight him. I think there's a lot of things Devin has to do to get that fight. In a practical sense, I think that there's a lot of stuff, bro. Yeah, Zenith36 said, did you notice that Kate asked about his legacy and he immediately started comparing himself to Errol and tearing down Spence's resume? He even said he was asking it. She wasn't making it a competition, but he did. Yeah, she's like, well, your legacy, not his. Yeah, it is what it is, bro. But look, to me, it just sounds like people use that as an excuse. I don't know what else I can say other than what you're trying to teach your children and advice and, making a good example for others in some way, shape, or form. But like I said, it just doesn't make sense to me. It may make sense to someone else. Like if you are trying to be a Hall of Famer, you're trying to be a Hall of Famer for yourself. I want to be in the Hall of Fame. Why? Because I want to be validated that I was a great fighter. So that is an accomplishment for me. Your accomplishments that's not legacy. That's your accomplishment. A gold medal, Andre Ward's gold medal is not his legacy. It is his accomplishment. It's not what he's leaving behind. Maybe what people take from him winning a gold medal and the inspiration that he gets, other people get from that is your legacy. And I can say, because I know people like that, people are always like, man, this guy. And what do they do? What do they always talk about? They talk about the example that he set that allowed them to do the same. When you talk about really great businessmen that are around and the businessmen and you hear what other people have to say about him, it's like, man, this guy really motivated me. He really encouraged me to do this. And I now knew it was possible because he did it. That type of stuff, man. But Jeff Campbell said, I missed your super chat. My bad, brother. Let me slide up. But anyway, back to Devin and him. There's just stuff Devin got to do to get that fight. That's what I think. But I don't know if it'll ever happen, really, because Devin's a welterweight. And he doesn't draw enough money into it to really, like, if you want to look at the money of it, let me make sure I got this right. Jeff Campbell, did you say I missed your super chat? Let me read. Oh, yeah, Jeff Campbell. John Joy said, forgot, bro, Brock Howard, double zeros, and all of Jeff's, David, and everyone else. Peace. Yes, sir. So, yeah, man, it's funny business. The whole thing is business. Fanon, look at Mike Tyson. The only reason he's not living on the street is his legacy. He is making a living off it. No. Absolutely not. Mike Tyson is not making a penny off his legacy. Mike Tyson is making money off people's interest in Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson is doing it off of his accomplishments. And the fact, and not even his accomplishments, it's people's interest in him is why you want to hear him talk. You don't want to hear Mike Tyson talk because he won, because he was the youngest heavyweight champion in the world. You don't, dude, you want to listen to Mike Tyson talk because Mike Tyson is an entertaining person when he speaks. I disagree highly. You want to listen to Mike Tyson because of Mike Tyson. who Mike Tyson is, not who Mike Tyson was, who Mike Tyson is. That's me. Now, I'm not saying the things that you accomplish in life are not important. Clearly, the things you accomplish in life are important, but I have a distinction between that and legacy. If you want to accomplish things, you want to accomplish them for yourself. You know? But like I said, I'm telling you that that's just how I think about it. And I could be wrong. I got it. And you could think about that differently. That's fair game. No joke. That's fair game. Jeff Campbell, I don't see it, brother. And Jeff Campbell. Oh, there you go. He said, prayers for Adios, who's still in the hospital. Yes, sir. No doubt. Much love in that super chat too, brother. And prayers go out. And prayers go out all day. Yes, sir. No doubt about that, brother. Let me slide down to this end. Tyson rich off that dispensary over $60 million. Yeah, man, he's getting paid off his accomplishments and his personality, man. And his personality. Same thing with Floyd. Floyd is still, he's just got people want him because of what he's doing, who he is, not who he was. Your legacy is who. Oh, yeah. Yeah, dude, you are asking to be robbed with $100,000 sitting around your neck, brother. But it is. Anyway, so because Avanation was beat, he can't improve. Ugas was beat by an unknown. Man, you get out of here. He can't improve. No, he's not going to improve to beat Terrence Crawford. No. No, he cannot improve to beat Tyson Fury, to beat Deontay. Come on. Come on, bro. Don't ever do that. Don't sit there and try to act like that's some fight. Then maybe you get lucky and the fight is going to be a good fight. You know what I'm saying? Please don't. Please don't do that. There's no need to act like that's a real fight. Please don't act like that's a real fight. James Anthony Vaughn said, the more Bud talks, the more he sounds ignorant about the business. Look, only if he do, it just sounds like a lot of excuses to me. Sounds like a lot of excuses, and he didn't want that. He didn't take that fight. And you're trying to justify it. And some people are going to believe the justification, accept the justification. Other people are not going to accept the justification. At the end of the day, it goes to that. Now, as far as being incendiary by calling him a duck, I'll admit it. I am. I think that's a duck. But that right there is my opinion, but it's not an uninformed opinion. Fanon, thoughts on Tank Ryan negotiations, that it'll never happen. That's my thought. I don't believe it. I believe as soon as you get to anywhere close to that finish line, that Oscar De La Hoya is going to kick the can right off that finish line. I do not believe it at all. I do not believe that Oscar De La Hoya is going to do any business with the PBC. I do not believe it. Gene Tunney in the building. What's going on, brother? Love the name. One of the greats, no doubt. Most casual fans can't name 3 fighters Mike beat. It's not about legacy. I mean, look, man, I've given my definition of legacy. You can have a different definition for the word. If by that you mean accomplishments, great. I would say that's an accomplishment. I would not say that's what your legacy. Because you don't know what your legacy is till you're dead. You know what I'm saying? And you will not know what it is. If death is what they say it is, you will not know what it is. And honestly, thinking about your legacy is kind of silly. You're living in the past constantly. Keeping up, because the legacy is always behind you. It's not in front of you. So how can you look forward and look back at the same time? I think the second, man, why? I'm thinking about what I'm going to do today. I'm thinking about what I'm trying to accomplish this week, this month, this year. I'm not thinking about what I did in second grade. That leads to depression. That's depression. When you start thinking about what you did and you didn't do in the past, that is a recipe for depression. You know what I'm saying? You got to keep it moving, not looking back. And if you're looking in the forward, so because you care what's in the back, none of it makes sense to me, bro. I'm just telling you. That's the reason people are exchanging ideas. If everyone thought the same way, there'd be nothing to discuss. Definitely, Daniel Mickelson, you're 100% correct on that. Bill Haney says A-side is the new way to duck. I don't know what else to say, brother. A-side is the new way to duck. Okay. Whole lot of A-sides make fights. I don't know what that is. I think ducking is the way to duck, and that's it. You can duck as you duck. Bud's legacy isn't what he thinks it is. If we can still remember the cans Marciano fought, ain't nobody gonna call Jeff Horn a beast 50 years from now. And more than like, well, Bud may be around 50 years ago from now. I hope he is. He's young enough to be around in 50 years. Me, on the other hand, yeah, I don't know. Okay. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if I'm gonna be here 50 years from now. So I don't care what people think about Bud in 50 years. That ain't my problem. You know what I'm saying? That ain't my problem. That ain't my concern. It's not my interest. What I wanted to know was what I was going to do 3 days from now when we hoped the fight was going to happen on November 19th, and it didn't happen. Part of your legacy is that you didn't fight on November 19th against Errol Spence, and that's what it is. You know what I mean? Whole lot of these cats are promoters. Without a doubt. He's 10 years away from being John Fury. What you mean? The impact that you leave after you're done with something or gone is your legacy. Yeah, it's in the past. Yeah, exactly. Will Wright said you'll be 103 years old if you're here in 50 years from now. Like, yeah, so not so sure about that. You know what I'm saying? However, what good does it do for me to wonder if I will be? Anything you look in time, you're looking too far in the future, or you're looking too far, or you're looking too seriously at the past. Dog, the only thing you have is right now. It's the only thing you have is right now. That's why cats like look at their belts, right? Something Andre Ward said, hey man, I got all these belts sitting in my office collecting dust, and I can't believe I paid that much money for these things. That's his legacy, right? But you're looking at it, what it means to you right now. Doesn't really mean what I thought it meant right now. Doesn't mean it. You know, I won a lot, in high school and in college, won a bunch of events. Doesn't mean 30 years later, 40 years later. Doesn't mean much. You don't get the same feeling off those medals and the pride that you got when it was handed to you. It doesn't work like that. So for me, I ain't trying to hear it, bro. I'm not trying to hear it. And what you win, what you eat, don't make me do as the number one reason I don't care about that. I'm talking about legacy. Legacy is also what you leave for the future generations. Legacy is what's behind you, bro. A legacy app means it's old. A legacy app means that you are not using it anymore. What's a legacy app? Oh, a legacy app is what you had before you changed. So there's a big problem in a lot of information system and a lot of companies because they have a lot of information and a lot of processes being run on legacy applications, which it means it's a thing of the past. Your legacy is your past. It's your past. It's not your present. It's not your future. And honestly, whenever you have anything that's legacy, you're looking to migrate off of that into the current state. It's a constant state of improvement within an organization. For 9, the first time I saw Mike Tyson was in May of '86 versus James Quick Tillis. Mike was 19 years old, 19 KOs, 19 fights. I'll never forget that. When he went the distance for the first time. Hey, man, yep. No doubt about it, brother. But you saw that in real time, didn't you? That was your experience. It wasn't his. That's your experience. And he left that. Yes, he gave you that. But no worry. It is what it is. It is, like I said, it is what it is. But I don't want to, like I said, we wind up losing viewers when we get too philosophical, right? The idea of what your legacy is and the importance of it in boxing. I will say for 100% for sure that I personally, in my opinion, my own estimation, could care less about fighters' legacies. I do not care. I care about watching the fight and paying for the fight. I will treat you fairly if you treat me fairly. You give me a fight that I want to see, I will pay my money to watch you. If you give me something that I do not want to see, I am not watching. I am not paying, I am not watching. And if you're a network and you're charging me a monthly fee and you continually want to give me things that I do not want to see, as soon as I feel comfortable there's nothing you're showing me that I want, I'm going to stop paying you. Because you're not giving me what I want. Just like you're not paying me my money, you're not paying me any money if I don't watch you. You're not paying me any money if I do watch you. So the idea that you just don't care what the fans think is very disrespectful to the people that are paying the money. And I can tell you, no doubt about it, brother, I am the fan. I am not here to say things like, well, I got to put this out here because it's important for me to tell. No, it's not important whatsoever for me to tell you this. I'm telling you this because I want to talk boxing and I'm going to do it. Being very, very straightforward and honest with you. Why do you do it? Because I like to talk boxing. It's my favorite sport, without a doubt. And I love talking boxing. So why am I talking and saying these things about Errol and Bud? Because I want to talk boxing. And I love the fact that people talk boxing with me. There you go. I'm not doing it for the greater good. I'm not doing it for the greater good of our people. You know what I'm saying? And my responsibility as an elder, like all of that, man, no, not. Okay? Just telling you. I just like talking boxing. I'm a boxing fan. You can like it or lump it, brother. You can like it or lump it, but it ain't going to change it. And you don't owe me nothing. You know what I'm saying? You don't owe me nothing, just like I don't owe you anything. So just realize it. If you can say you don't care what negative naysayers have to say, and they're what's wrong with boxing, understand that I can tell you this. I don't care what you have to say because I don't work for you. And number two, I support boxing. So if you think that I'm a problem for supporting boxing, let me tell you one more time. I could care less that you think that. Because you will be gone and there will be another boxer for sure. 10 years from now, I'm not going to be talking about you because you will not be fighting. Unless you're Floyd Mayweather Jr. and can sucker people into paying, like myself, $14 for your exhibition fight. And for me to see you buffoon and clown. Buffoon's a little strong, but he was buffooning. No, I wasn't buffooning. He was just disrespecting because he was buffooning the other dude who was dead serious about fighting to his absolute best and literally getting palm slapped to death, and then had enough nerve to hit Floyd in the eye and do a push-up. And then, brother, you know he got concussed after that. Saw the Bud promo, wasn't sure if it was a promo or just his Tinder profile. Put it on YouTube for swipes. Hey, man, goodness gracious, I'm not putting that on there, man. I know they're going to come after me. Samuel Aguirre said, only to return and fight Danny Garcia. Repeating same narrative. What's his narrative, Samuel Aguirre? After holding the belts, hold on, man. You saying holding belts hostage for how many years? Errol didn't hold the belts hostage at all. When did Errol Spence Jr. hold belts hostage? Oh, Voice of God said, and you're appreciated for 9. You are the James Brown of boxing talk. No one works harder. Hey, I thank you, brother. I try to put the work out there, man. Thank you, bro. I want to know how do you hold a belt hostage when you unify belts? How is that possible? You just say anything, huh? He held the belt hostage. He fought Sean Porter, who had the WBC belt, and put it on the line. 2 years of inactivity. So getting in a car accident, getting in a car accident is holding it hostage. Very nice to see you, brother. See you later, man. I'm not going to humor you, bro. Okay, I'm not going to humor you. Right away, you're out of here. Come back under another name, Samuel. And then if you say the same thing, trust me, I'm going to put you out again. We don't have time for that. The man got in a car accident, dang near killed himself, and he was holding it hostage. Man, y'all some tough. He's holding it hostage, but Bud goes fight Advil. He goes fight David Anorexia, and he's not holding it hostage. He tells Errol Spence Jr., nah, you need me. I don't need you. No fight. And he's not holding it hostage. But this man flips a car 100 million times, loses his teeth, bruises his body beyond belief, and he's holding it hostage. Jeez Louise. You know what I'm saying? Lord have what? Like, God, goodness gracious. You got some standards, huh? You real hard to satisfy, brother. Dog, he just talking, bro. They just talking, man. They just talking, brother. I like, man, seriously, man. Y'all just talking, man. Y'all just talking. Anyway, Michael Wilson said, well, then what was Bud's excuse for holding his belt hostage? Look, man, Bud didn't hold the belt hostage, okay? Bud has not held the belt. Is not holding it hostage, bro. He's not holding it hostage, brother. He just ducked Errol. Okay? If it was anybody else, he'd fight it, bro. If it was David Advanisian that had them 3 belts, you better believe that fight would have happened, okay? If that was Egan Skalvanakis that had them 3 belts, you better believe that fight would have happened, brother. Okay? You better believe it. Why were you referring to saying tank team talks? Because they did. Oh, yeah, because he said something about it. They said that they wanted to fight. Said it again. Said that fight's gonna happen. We want the fight. That's what they said. Now, I didn't go into great detail with it because it's kind of hard for me not to bring up subjects that really are not my business. Why I say that. But, you know, they in a live stream said once again to Team Haney. Now, let me be very, very clear about this. They said it to Team Haney. Now, why do I say they said it to Team Haney? Because the person that said it said public statement deserves a public response. Now, listen to me carefully. And this is not me hating in any way, shape, or form. But listen very carefully to what I'm saying. If I tell you that a public statement deserves a public response, who responds to something? The person that it's said to responds. Right? So if I say, somebody says, why did you do this video about Terrence Crawford having said this about Errol Spence Jr.? And my answer is this. A public statement deserves a public response. Well, what's a logical question? Well, why are you responding? Errol's not responding. Why are you responding? I'm responding for Errol, clearly. Well, who would respond for Errol? Under what circumstance would you respond to Errol? You would respond to Errol if you were on Errol's team. Right? Like I tell you, dude, I deal in logic. Facts You need facts, but facts without logic is worthless. Facts without logic is like knowledge without wisdom. It's dangerous. Logic can, in many instances, totally replace the necessity for facts, which is why you have, and to prove this to you, which is why you have theoretical physicists using mathematics as logic, numerical logic, and extrapolating mathematically on why things happen. Very complicated stuff. Facts without logic is dangerous. Knowledge without wisdom is dangerous. The difference between knowledge and wisdom is knowledge is knowing something, and wisdom is knowing what to do with it. Facts are objective truths. Logic leads you to productive outcomes. Right? So when you say things like, anyway, I'll leave that alone. However, so clearly, they are a member of that team. Because that's the only reason that you would say that. True or not true? True. Very, very true. And when you know you're a member of a team, then you know what your responsibilities are, what your objectives are, all of the above. No, Black Belt, I'm not talking about that. Hey, I see it differently than Fanon. Public statements deserve public response could mean once you make a public statement, it becomes free game for anyone. No, that's not a response, Daniel. That's not a response. That is a comment. A response comes from somebody that was where a conversation was initiated to you. That is a comment. That is not a response. If I am talking to you and I ask you a question and I say, Daniel, do you like hot dogs? And then somebody else comes by and say, oh, I love hot dogs. That is not a response. That is his opinion. The only person that can respond is the person who it was said to. Right? That's a response. You initiate a public statement deserves a response. A response from who? You're not responding to Kanye West. If Kanye West didn't say anything to you, you're making a comment about what Kanye West said. You're only responding if it's said to you. It's the literal definition of it. The only person that can respond for Tank Davis, respond. Not to, if I say something to you about Tank Davis and then you respond to it, it's me saying something to you about him. But if somebody says something to another person, the only person that can respond to that is the person that they said it to or a representative of the person that they said it to. That's it. So you're on his team. Don't say otherwise. People tell the truth. People tell the truth. If you listen, and it's not to be denied. Exactly. You folks can comment and editorialize, but you can only respond when you're directly addressed. So it's you're either not a response, or you have the authority to respond and have been delegated the responsibility to respond. Am I missing something? No, I'm not. No, I'm not. See what I mean? But is that a bad thing? No, it's not. It's not a bad thing at all. It's just the truth. If that is what you meant, it's the truth. If it's not what you meant, then it's a restatement. Because that happens all the time. People say they accepted a contract or they signed a contract, but they didn't sign it. They really meant that they accepted it. Doesn't make you a bad person. Doesn't mean anything other than what it means when you say it. Right? Right? Anyway, hey, Fanon, can you give me a quick rundown of all the good fights that we got coming over the next few months? We've got David Benavidez, Caleb Plant. David Benavidez, Caleb Plant. Hey, CB said, Fanon on his game, y'all always taking us away from boxing. I mean, it is what it is, bro. But Caleb Plant, David Benavidez, Jaron Ennis versus whoever Jaron Ennis is fighting. Jaron Ennis versus whoever he's fighting. David Benavidez and Caleb Plant. Gervonta Davis and whoever he's fighting. Matias and Ponce. Matias and Ponce. Canelo's fighting on May 4th, if that's not too far out. Or May 3rd, whatever that weekend is. Frank Martin and Michelle Rivera. Hey, Sean Clark said, I'm an articulate professor of ebonics. That's why I get quiet during the English lesson. Y'all should too. Yeah, bro. Let me tell you something, man. I am very precise. I'm very precise. And when people are people say what they say. The problem is a lot of times people make assumptions about what people are saying instead of listening to what they said. And I don't mean that as any disrespect. I really don't. But that right there is the first thing that I listen. When I listen to you guys ask me to listen to it, that's the first thing that came to my mind. And I was pretty much done after that. Because I realized, okay, that's Devin Haney Promotions. Because isn't the guy the subject matter of the conversation with Devin Haney Promotions? Yes, he is. He's with Devin Haney Promotions. Your interpretation of the word response is literally correct if you use the main definition, but the definition response is also it's a reaction. A reaction, a response. Okay, so let me ask you a question. If I say, Daniel, that the present that I'm responding to a response, if somebody says, oh man, it's raining in California. If I say it's raining in California, is that a response to the fact that it is raining in California? I guess. But when you say a response deserves a response, a statement deserves a response, you are directly connecting the statement to the response to a statement. If you said that, then means everything that anybody says deserves a response. Right? Anything that anybody says deserves a public response. If you say it in front of more than 3 people, everything deserves a response. That is clearly not true. That is clearly not the meaning of a public response. A public statement deserves a public response. It is clearly implied that if you make a public statement about me, it deserves a public response from me. If you make a private statement to me, then it deserves a public response from me, a private response from me. It's just implied in it, and it is literally what it is. Otherwise, you're saying that you should be responding to anything that anybody says publicly. That anything that you say deserves a response from anybody that heard it. Because anybody that hears it, it's public. Right? What's public? More than one person, 2 people, 3 people? Come on, man. You know the deal. You know the deal, brother. You know the deal. Anyway, you have direct and indirect responses. Whatever. You guys go do all of that. I'm not doing all of that. You know perfectly well what it is. You know perfectly well what it is. You know perfectly well if I say something, the only person, if I'm talking to you, that is not a response to me. That is your opinion. You're not responding to me because I didn't say anything to you. You are just giving me your thought. That's not a response to anything that I said to you. I said it to you. I said it to him. Only person can respond to something I said about him is him. You know what I'm saying? But that's okay. And you got to be some way connected to him. But whatever. You know what I mean, bro. Oh, John Bowie in the super chat said, Rip Jones super chat, Key 215 super chat. Yeah, I'm sorry. Oh, no, Daniel, I got you, brother. I know you're not. CJ Moore for that member, brother. Thank you so much for joining, man. John Bowie said, Rip Jones. Yes, sir. I'm going to slide back up because Rip Jones is out there heavy, brother. Sorry. Key said, once you start learning, the L becomes silent, pretty much. And my man, Rip Jones, said, good morning, Fanon. Salute to Rip Jones and the rest of the forum. Thank you, brother. And thank you for everybody that supports every day. You know what I mean? Stats, facts, and evidence always trumps belief. Just trying to explain it to religious folks. Stats, facts, and evidence. You know what is a true? You know what is funny? People say numbers lie, men lie, women lie, numbers don't lie. Women and men use numbers to lie all the time. Matter of fact, almost all numbers are a lie. And as in they are not true. And I could get into a philosophical conversation about why that statement is true, but the principle of number is completely hypothetical. The principle of number. Are you one person or are you 75 trillion cells? Averages. Take for example, averages. If I tell you, if I weigh these 3 cups, I got this cup, I got this cup, and I got this cup, right? 3 cups. And I weigh them, these cups, and I weigh them. These are 3 cups of 3 different sizes. And I weigh them and it comes out to 3 pounds. And I said, okay, we got 3 cups. What's the average weight of the cups? Well, the average weight is 3 pounds because I put all 3 on the scale. I weighed each 3. And then the average of it was 3. But guess how many of these cups weigh 3? Weigh a pound. None of them do. The average of these 3 cups may be 3 pounds, but you're not going to weigh a single one of them and have a single one of them weigh a pound. It is a way for you to process and understand. Right, you got 3 pounds, right? You got 3 cups, they weigh 3 pounds. But when you weigh this one, it weighs 1.2 pounds. You weigh this one, it weighs 1.2 pounds. And this one weighs 0.8. You will never get one of those cups to weigh a pound. So what is the importance of the average? It just gives you a general understanding of what the size of the cups are. But you actually have to look into them and analyze it to understand if that average is worth any validity, has really any validity to it. No, the average is 3 pounds. The average weight of these cups, if this weighs is 1 pound. If this weighs 1.8, This weighs 1.8, right? Well, I'm sorry, that's over it. If this weighs 1.8 and this weighs 0.2, that brings you to 2, or 0.3, and it brings you to 2.1, and this weighs 0.9. It's 3, and they all weigh 3. 3 divided by 3 is 1. The average would be 3. But not a single one of them actually weigh, or the average would be 1. And not a single one of them weigh a pound. You get my point. They do that for specifics like shipping. They will weigh the cup. No, brother. If they are charging you shipping, they actually weigh the cup. And if it weighs more than this, they're going to charge you this. Between that is going to weigh it. But they want to know how much the cup weighs. They're going to weigh the cup itself. But anyway, that's the concept of numbers. So when you talk about, for example, in boxing, and you say, oh, my champions, the records of my champions were, the last 6 guys that I fought were 29-1. Yeah, but who did they fight when you look at their records? Right? You actually have to look into it because the numbers can, and most often, not accurate enough to give you the truth of the matter. Right? Unless you can see. Anyway, you get my point. A hypothesis is an idea put forward to explain certain facts which can be tested. A theory is broader that seeks to explain the connections between events and enables the relationships to be predicted. Fair enough. A hypothesis is an educated guess. But I don't want to get into the specifics of the scientific terminology because I am not that. Okay? I ain't going to act like I'm Johnny Q Science. All I'm telling you is this. You can argue about a whole lot of stuff. Hey, big up, Fanan. What's going on, my man? Aaron Muhammad in the building. Thank you, brother. What's up? He said, big up, Fanan. People are calling slander and rumors facts today and drag good reputations down. It's difficult to advise liars. Liars use facts very well. The best lies have a lot of facts in them. Matter of fact, Aaron, the best lies have a lot of fact in it. The best lies do. Because that's how you get people to, like, for example, red people are inferior. Why? Because they have higher crime, they have lower IQs, they have this, that, and the other thing. But then you look at it, you're like, hold on. Why are you defining it by those statistics? And how do you explain those statistics? And it's even like algorithms, right? Algorithms are completely based on fact. However, those facts are established by people that have priorities and play favoritism as far as what facts they think are most important. So even within the concept of an algorithm, which is supposed to be completely predictable and repeatable, and is predictable and is repeatable, it is still can be unjust because the criteria that you set them for are based on the opinions of people. There's no way, it's just what it is, you know? Anyway, man, that's why truisms are the best lies. That's why you have fallacies, man. Like people say, well, you know, people that say things like, well, there's truth in quantity. Yeah, there's truth in quantity. There's a lot of lies in quantity too. However, you cannot assume that something is true just because most people think it's true. That's illogical. It's illogical to assume that something is true because more people believe it to be true. You can just have them all be wrong and one person be right. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. I'm just telling you, logic is the key. Logic is the best. Is the best tool you have. Because if they throw you a bunch of facts, but it doesn't make sense to you, it's illogical to you, it's probably safe to throw it away. It's probably if it does not work logically. Like if somebody gives you a complicated math problem that tells you that you can tie an elephant's tail to a daisy and hang it off of a mountain, you might look and say, well, you know, I don't think that's going to work. Why? Because it just is illogical. I can pluck a daisy like this. And if you and I could not hold an elephant's tail still if I was cemented into the ground. Okay? It would just literally rip half of my body off if it started moving. So it's illogical, no matter what your formula tells you. Okay? It's illogical. To say something is created without a creator, and that's the one thing that I will say about religion, right? Or not that, but just the presence of the thing I'm talking about. It is highly illogical. Exactly, argumentum ad populum. It is very illogical to believe that things are created without anything creating it. It's illogical. Now, it may be illogical that there's a man floating up in a cloud, right, that looks like Santa Claus. I would agree with you that seems a little illogical. But the idea that something is created and repeats itself this systematically, this consistently, this predictably is an accident. Nah, I'm not going to wait around for you guys to explain that to me for 5 hours. I'm just going to say that's not logical and bail out on the conversation right there, because you are trying to convince me of something that is highly illogical. This cup is not going to appear out of thin air. This is not going to pop out of thin air. This microphone is not going to pop out of thin air. Somebody had to make it. Don't know who it is, but it had to be made. You were born. You have a male and I guarantee you were born. You had a male and a female that somehow connected with each other, one way or the other. Okay, that seed and that seed came together. You did not fly out of the sky. Exactly. That's it's a line out of JFK. Because it's true, a very true thing. People will try to convince you of a lot of things that are completely illogical by using mathematics you don't need it to a certain extent. Just like you tell me, well, you don't know that Terrence lied. Well, if Terrence said that he accepted all the terms, all of them, because the word all means everything, all, not some, all, but you didn't take the fight, that means you didn't accept them. The two cannot be true at the same time. You cannot have accepted all of their terms and not fought him and not agreed to the fight at the same time. Unless you got injured. Right? Or they didn't show up with the money. And you decided not to walk out. Right? That's just logical. And it's just logical, bro. It's just logical. But look, I'm out of here. Much love to everybody in the chat. Everybody in the super chat, thank y'all so much. I'm going to try to go spend some time with my wife today. Y'all take care. You got what seems like a lot of test tube babies in here for 9. Brother, even in a test tube, yes, somebody took something from my daddy and something from my mama and put it in that test tube. Okay? It's just logic. Don't try to run away from it too much. And matter of fact, learn it. Learn it. It's very empowering. You know what I mean? It ain't hate. But you guys asked me to comment on it, so I commented on it. And there you go. It is what it is, though. And with much love to everybody out there, even if you think I hated on you, I really didn't. I think the world of your brother. No doubt about it. With that, I'm out. Deuces.